Hello. What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all. Good to see you. What is up, Pog and Elf and Schnoozies, Bet and Ripped and Lucid Dylan on our nice black hair, Stone Rain Productions. Good to see you. Vanilla, her warrior from Valhalla. That's a little different than Vanilla, isn't it? How is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is having an amazing Tuesday. It is Man Day. It is BNR. It is rebalancing day. We got a ton to talk about. So as far as actually playing Magic, we got this sweet Gitrog deck that we're going to try in Modern. Someone 5-0'd with it. It's Gitrog. It's got Primeval Titans. You can get the Valakut kill, but really it's Gitrog shenanigans. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I love Gitrog Monster, especially with Dread Presence and Drive to the Hills and Grove. So we're going to give this deck a try, but I also want to talk about our huge BNR announcement. Like, huge. Bannings, rebalancing, so much going on. Elves, Hugo, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you for you. Thank you. So I think our plan is we're going to do our reminders. Then I want to kind of go over the bannings. I don't know. Do y'all want to hear about the bannings? I haven't done a video or anything about it. Do you want to talk bannings or you just want to jump into the games? I was thinking we'll do our reminders. We'll talk about the bannings, kind of go over them, and then as we're playing Magic, we can talk more about the bannings as we go along. But I think we need to at least go over them quickly before we jump into our league. So I think that's a plan. I think that's a plan for today. The bannings makes me sad. Really? Do they? Yeah, I saw that eBay or Amazon or something leaked the Commander Precon. So many leaks for Kamigawa. And Kamigawa starts in what a crazy week. We went from nothing going on to a huge ban restricted announcement, alchemy rebalancing, crazy historic stuff, spoilers starting in 2 days. It is super huge. So reminders, replay YouTube, that's we invite all the old streams, including this one in the future, normal YouTube. Tons of stuff going up on there. Tomorrow, we actually got a really interesting against odds. Playing Standard for the first time in a minute and a half, and the deck is actually really fun. So check that out tomorrow. Spoilers, of course, starting Thursday, so have all the spoiler coverage. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom, and if you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com. You even get a free goldfish sticker. Let them know you want one in your order notes as you're picking up a Wandering Archaic or a Lion's Eye Diamond or whatever. Just let them know you want one. They'll hook you up for free. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. Otherwise, merch page, tokens, t-shirts, playmats, good ways for the stream and the channel, the site. Donations always appreciated, never required. $2 more gets your message read on stream. All right, so bannings. Number one, we got actual BNR announcement for multiple real non-digital only formats. So the BNR announcement, Standard, Elrond's Epiphany banned, Divide by Zero banned, Faceless Haven banned, Legacy Ragavan banned, Historic, this is a weird one. Memory Lapse was already suspended. It's banned. I don't know why they do the suspended list thing. Just ban stuff. If you're gonna ban it, just ban it, give people their wild cards back. But it is fully banned, which means we should get our wild cards back. However, Teferi Time Raveler, unbanned in new form, which we'll talk about in a minute when we talk about all the weird alchemy stuff. So as far as the BNR itself, no, there is some explanation down here. Although after reading Gavin's epic pauper explanation for banning, I will say not nearly as impressed with the explanations for these bannings as Gavin's pauper bannings. So as far as these bannings, I actually really like these bannings. I was really hoping for standard changes. I was really worried. As I mentioned before, we're 2 days away from spoiler season. No modern at all. No changes to modern. I was really worried that we're going to enter Kamigawa spoiler season and that we were just going to talk about all these sweet new cards, but I have to always have the asterisk of oh, this card's really cool. This ninja's really cool. This samurai, whatever. All these cool things that we want to be excited about, but have to be well, it's really sweet, but it's going to get wrecked by Epiphany or whatever. So if you dig into these bannings, the most important thing is I'm actually hyped to play Standard now for the first time in a little while. So I think Standard actually going to be fun. This really knocks the legs out of the metagame. This hits many of the best decks. Look at the Standard metagame. Let's pull this over here. If you think about these bannings, Epiphany, Divide by Zero, Faceless Haven deck, well, maybe Epiphany deck, definitely Epiphany deck, Epiphany deck, Faceless Haven deck. I don't even know. There's probably a Sunban card in it. Actually, no, this one actually dodges the bannings. But really, it hits all the top decks in the meta. This is kind of chopping the legs out from all the best decks, all the most dominant decks. So this makes me really excited. I think Epiphany was a given. That was the obvious one. Mega Dire, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup tier for you. Epiphany was the obvious one. Thrilled that it's gone. Faceless Haven, it makes sense. It is a card that was rebalanced last time for Alchemy, and it does show up in a huge percentage of decks. If you just look at the most played cards, Faceless Haven, 42% of decks, playing it almost always as a 4 of, 3.5 copies per deck. So this is hitting a lot of the best decks. The one that might be weird, if you're looking at this as Divide by Zero, you might be thinking, why Divide by Zero? And I really think that, well, it is a really powerful and pretty obnoxious card to play against. I really think it kind of targets Leer. Leer is one of the best things in the meta. Hullbreaker Horror is one of the best things in the meta. Divide by Zero is kind of a way to power down those decks without directly banning the key cards. Wizards didn't have to ban like a new Chase Mythic, a new Chase Rare. Instead, they went with Divide by Zero, an old random uncommon, to hopefully power down those decks. So I actually really like the standard bannings. I think they are incredibly positive. We'll see what happens with Kamigawa comes out, but I'm for once actually really hyped about playing standard and brewing standard. So will standard be broken again? Probably, but I think we're gonna have a few good weeks at least after Kamigawa releases of new cards, new decks, new meta, really exciting fun format. So hyped about standard. Legacy players seem to be fine with Ragavan being banned, I guess. Like, I don't know. No modern bannings is a little weird, although honestly, I'm okay with it. The one thing I really want banned in modern is Luris. I can see arguments for having Ragavan banned. I could see arguments for having Urza Saga banned. I do think it's possible both of those get banned eventually, but really, I think that Luris is the main problem cards, and really the companion, just the mechanic is so bad for non-rotating formats. So really, I can be okay with no modern changes though. Like, so what do y'all think of these changes? Are you hyped? Are you less hyped? What's your opinion on the bannings? I mean, we can always get more modern bannings in the future. Like, I was kind of expecting a change to modern, at least Luris, but I can deal with no changes as PNR. Yeah, Faceless Haven, like, really, I think this does hurt all of those decks. Like, Faceless Haven powers down the two aggro decks. Epiphany and also Divide by Zero power down the control decks. So I think we're entering a pretty new meta. Like, things are going to be, what's the best deck that didn't get hit by this? One of these, like, mid-range decks, some Goldspan Azeka Chariot pile? Like, that's probably the top remaining deck in the meta that didn't get hit by one of these bannings. So, the other news... Oh, Wizards. So the other news is we got Alchemy rebalances. A lot of them are pretty obvious. So Wizards made a Serac a tiny bit better. They slightly improved, like adding 1 toughness to Blood Rage Alpha. Some of the original Alchemy cards, they didn't really do much since they were printed. Then they buffed a ton of dungeon stuff randomly. A positive way to view this, and I mentioned this on Twitter, like, when I look at all this dungeon stuff being buffed, the positive way to view it is dungeons are pretty underpowered. It's a really cool mechanic. Maybe this, yeah, the Ventureland is the funniest. Maybe this actually makes this kind of cool mechanic playable now. The more negative way to look at it is, it's a ploy. It's a ploy to try to get our wild cards before Kamigawa releases and trick us into spending them on dungeon cards that are probably still not good. Dungeon Descent. That one cracks me up. Dungeon Descent, maybe the worst rare land Wizards is printed in the modern era of Magic. Like, it is incredibly bad. The original came into play tapped. It costs 4 mana and tapping a legendary permanent. To venture into a dungeon once, you can only do it as a sorcery. The new version is actually quite a bit better. It's only 1 mana plus tapping a legend, and it comes into play untapped. I still don't know if dungeons are going to be great, but they certainly got better. As far as the nerfs, Divide by Zero gets a little worse. Fearsome Wealth, actually, we kind of predicted this one, having it trigger on your upkeep rather than immediately, so you gotta wait a turn for the buff. Hullbreaker gets a little bit worse. Inquisitor Captain, as we talked about, probably getting the when you cast it trigger rather than being able to blink it. Leer gets powered down a little bit. Sanguine Brushstroke actually got powered down very, very slightly. You don't gain life when you sack a blood token. Town Razor Tyrant only hits non-basics now. And then the biggest news. The biggest news, Teferi Time Raveler is back. So I want to know what you think about this. So essentially what Wizards did here is, yeah, the Treasureland plus Magda could actually be pretty sweet now with it only being 1 mana. No changes to Key to the Archive. No changes to the back of Rahilda. It is still colorless. What do you think of this new Teferi? So essentially what Wizards did, and I gotta rant a little bit about this because it cracks me up. So they brought Teferi Time Raveler back. They added a mana and they changed its abilities. Now, your opponents can only not cast spells during your turn. Rather, they can only cast things as sorceries. So that's a nerf. You can +1 to be able to cast spells as though they had flash. You cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. And then -3 is still exactly the same. You get a little more loyalty. So it's similar, but with a bit of a twist to it. I don't know how I feel about this, honestly. I think this version... Hey, what's up, Camille? How are you? Good to see you. I think that, on one hand, I think this version's probably fine. I don't think it's going to be miserable. It seems much fairer than the original one. Monogreet Stumpy, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think this is going to be a much fairer version of Teferi. On the other hand... It's still so weird to me that an iconic card that sees play across formats is going to have different text on Arena than it does in paper. Like, I know that's not a deal breaker, but it's just really, really weird to me that you could play a tournament that was theoretically like... I don't know, historic and modern somehow, and your Teferi would have different text, different abilities, different mana costs, depending on the format. Hi, No Toxin! First time subbing, Monogreet Stumpy. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I don't know what y'all think of that, if that's a good change or not. The other thing I got a meme on, oh my goodness. If you actually read this article, this is a part that gets me. In addition to the 18 rebalance cards, we're rebalancing Teferi Time Raveler, and the updated Alchemy version will be legal and historic. In the future, we'll be looking for similar opportunities to rebalance and unban cards currently on the historic ban list, with the understanding that we have no intention of rebalancing iconic cards that are significant in Magic's history, like Brainstorm. And before you ask, you get to keep your wild cards from the original banning. This last line... It blows my mind. It blows my mind. Do you actually hear what this is saying? Like the fact that they included this in the article makes my head explode, because it means that someone at Wizards, it must have crossed their mind of, remember when we banned Teferi 2 years ago and we gave them back their wild cards? Now that we're making this rebalanced Alchemy version, what do you think if we just go into their collections and yoink back those wild cards? Like, really, it'd be fair. Like, we're letting them play with Teferi again. We can't refund their wild cards for nothing. Like, someone that must have crossed someone's mind to the extent that they felt it necessary to add it into the article. Like, it seemed like someone thought it was a realistic possibility that they could just go in and take our wild cards out of our account to make up, like, to recoup them for when they refunded us before. Which, I don't know, could you imagine if they actually did that and ending up in like wild card like, what if you don't have any rare wild cards for them to take? Are they going to take the next 4 that you open in packs, like, to make up for it? Are you going to have -4 wild cards? Are they going to send your account to wild card collections? Like, so yeah, I mean, they aren't doing that. They aren't taking the cards, but it is hilarious to me that someone must have at least thought, like, could we do that? Could we go back in and take those wild cards? Because why else would you put it in the article if that didn't at least cross someone's mind? So that's the BNR stuff. We can talk about it more as we go along. I mean, there's a ton of alchemy changes. There's 18 different ones. I don't think we want to go through every card, or we're just going to spend the entire stream doing that. But in general, I'm pretty happy with these changes. Like, I think they're very positive changes, especially for standard. I would have been fine with some changes to modern, but modern is fun. But I do think there's cards that could be banned and unbanned in modern. So we'll get there. I think right now the focus is on standard and alchemy, with a new standard set coming out. Hopefully next BNR we get some modern changes. Although, like I said, we're playing modern today, and modern is really fun. So what is our deck that we're playing today? And we can talk about all the BNR stuff as we go along. We are starting with some Gitrog monster action. Ooh, modern is dead in your area. Really? What is doing well in your area? I've been brewing a modern Grixis Underworld Breach combo, and it's been feeling really good. Also experimenting with Valakut Exploration in modern. Ooh, yeah, Valakut Exploration is a pretty sweet card. Good card advantage for a landfall deck. That sounds sweet, Sai. There's probably a reason they didn't ban in Modern yet. Yeah, I mean, I think they just were focused on other stuff. Speaking of Gitrog, do you see the new frog guy from the Kamigawa leaks? Yeah, I did. There's so many leaks. So much of the set is leaked. So what is this deck trying to do? We are trying to go off with everyone's favorite man-eating frog, the Gitrog monster. So the Gitrog monster, if you somehow don't know what it does, lets us play extra lands. When lands go to the graveyard, we get to draw cards. We got a second land on our upkeep. So it's essentially this insane card advantage engine. So how do we take advantage? And it's also huge. It's a 6/6 Death Touch for 5. So how do we take advantage of Gitrog? Well, goal 1 is Heartless summoning to ramp into it. Then we have a ton of extra land drop cards. We have Azusa, we have Dryad of the Ilsen Grove, we have Ramanop Excavator to play lands from our graveyard. Then we have landfall stuff. Tireless Tracker, Tireless Provisioner. We got Primeval Titan to snag even more lands. And then we have kind of our finisher. When it comes to finishing the game, we have these sweet shenanigans with Dryad of the Ilsen Grove, turning our lands into each land type. That means every land is a swamp. So whenever lands comes into play, we get to drain our opponent with Red Presence. We also have a couple of Valakuts that we can find with our Primeval Titan. Every land will also be a mountain so that we get to burn our opponent with that. And that's basically the plan. Ramp into Gitrogs, ramp into Primeval Titans, and then weird land-based landfall shenanigans, land damage shenanigans to hopefully close out the game. Amulet of Vigor looks kind of weird in this deck. It actually is really weird looking in this deck. I guess it's just kind of a ram spell. We don't have any of the synergies you see in other Primeval Titan decks. We don't have like the lands that give haste or anything like that. So I think that our main ideas were just like untapping bounce lands for a little bit of ramp or whatever shenanigans like that. So Hypnotoxin with a gift sub to Mega Magikarp. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Did Vince put me up to this? It does feel like a Vince deck, doesn't it? Vince also loves Gitrog. Oh wait, do we actually have a haste? Oh, you're right. We do have a haste. I was looking for the one that is normally played with Primeval Titan, but I guess we do have a haste land. Well, maybe we do have more shenanigans than I thought with Amulet. Sideboard, we get removal, we get discard, we get combo hate, we get artifact hate, we get big old Gargaroth to gain us life, calling ritual. I don't know why people play this card. Maybe it's insane. I guess it could be good against Urza Saga, blowing up all the tokens, engineer explosives for removal, Cavern of Souls. So let's give it a shot. Let's jump into a league and see what's happening with Gitrog in Modern. It's been a while since we played in Gitrog. Hypnotoxin, handing out a ton of gift subs to DM Kane's Awesome Sorcery, Ripped, Ryu, and Karain. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Big super chat for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe it's way better than I realized. Heartless Frog. All right. So how's everyone feeling about? So question 1. Here's question 1 for all y'all. How are you feeling about Standard? Is Standard back? Like, do these bannings combined with a new Standard set that's pretty hype coming out, does that make you actually hyped to play and brew around Standard? I gotcha, Magic Megacarp. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription, or the gift sub. Big super chat for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I mean, is your hype level increasing? Even if you're not going to go to your local game store this weekend for whatever reason, like, the thing that I think it does is it gives me some amount of faith that Wizards does care about Standard. Well, we talked about it a little bit on the podcast yesterday. My thinking was, if Wizards didn't ban Epiphany now, they're not going to ban it for the rest of its time in Standard, like, because then we're 6 months to rotation or something. So either they ban it now or it's not getting banned. And if they don't ban it, it's a pretty good sign that Wizards is kind of all in on alchemy. Like, essentially, I don't know, that they just don't care about Standard. Maybe they actually don't mind Standard being bad, because then it increases the odds of people playing Alchemy where Epiphany is powered down or whatever. So I think, to me, this sends a sign Wizards does care about Standard still, and they still want it to be a fun format, even with Alchemy around. Yeah, I'm super hyped for Kamigawa too. We've had so many leaks for Kamigawa. I'm still not convinced that the leaks are not a good thing for Wizards. Not that they're leaking them themselves, but I think they are a good thing. Have you seen the story article for Kamigawa? I rarely read the story articles. That does look like a Tezzeret. Is Tezzeret in Kamigawa somehow? I do love Tezzeret. Tezzeret's probably in my top 3 favorite Planeswalker characters. Tezzeret, some sort of creepy mouse surgeon. All right. That looks kind of Phyrexian. Is that a Phyrexian thing? Are we already getting the Phyrexian storyline? Wait, that's not Jin, is it? Wait, do we have Jin? I heard Jin Gitaxias is actually in the set. Oh, wow! They've been building this storyline for so long. It was a year ago. It was a year ago in Keldheim that we got Vorinclex, right? And we got the first look at the Praetors. I mean, I don't think that's Wizards officially published that. That's not like a leak or anything. Like they published that on the mothership today. So that's not like some hidden information or leak or anything like that. That's actually just like straight up stuff Wizards wants us to know at this point. I only play and spend thousands of dollars on the game for the lore. Really? Lore has never really been especially... That hasn't been my thing. I know some people that's like their main reason for, I think we keep this. We got Summoner's Pact to find Gitrog or something. And we got the amulet. Leaks going, oh no, control. Ugh, okay. Well, Forest. Eberreal Graza. I mean, we're almost to spoilers. It is almost time. Have you been keeping up on the leaks? I'm curious. These leaks have been so public. Like sometimes when they're leaks, it's like you got to go to the dark corners of the internet to find them. Other times, like with Kamigawa, the leaks are like at the top. Oh no, are at the top of like the main Magic Reddit or whatever. This is one of those cases where it is at the top of the Reddit. They're not very hidden this time. Oh, the Simic Gross Chamber was brutal. Yeah, maybe we should have held on to it. I'll play the Forest, pass the dirt. There might be punts. I'm not much of a Amulet Titan player. I'm a Gitrog player, but I'm not much of an Amulet player, so there could be punts along the way. Well, that's Primeval Titan. Opponent's leaving up mana. Well, I mean, I guess we play a Forest, play a Zeusa. See if our opponent counters. Play Verdant Catacombs. Attack with a Grazer. Send a message. We played the bounce land off the Grazer, so we had to pick up one of our lands. So we did make both land drops. Just one of them was a bounce land. I'd be curious about adapting this deck away from Amulet Titan stuff and towards Cultivator Colossus stuff. Ooh. I mean, that could definitely be a possibility. Oh, the Bills game. The Bills game. Ooh, unnerf to fairy. Cheating. That should be 4 mana. That is so unfair. Ooh. Was Hooglin calling you an angry boomer on Twitter? Probably. That does sound like something Jeff would say. Swamp. Heartless summoning. Ramenomp Excavator. Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Oh, this is going to be a pretty sweet turn, I think. Get a Forest. Azusa. Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. We're running out of lands. The only thing that will stop us is not having enough lands. Untap. Oh, do we get Gitrog? Do we get Gitrog and just go for it? I think we do. It. I mean, you don't play Gitrog deck and not go for it. Catacombs, crack it. All right. Well, let's see. Triome. Untap. Summoner's Pact. Frog time. Please don't kill us. Gitrog. Play Gitrog. Oh, what a turn. What a turn. Here comes the frog. The only bad news is we don't have any more lands to fetch out. Oh, Vern Catacombs. I love Jeff. I love Jeff. I've known Jeff for a very long time. Opponent. Opponent has multiple Teferis, hates fun. Okay, well, we gotta crack the land to draw a card. Oh, we really need that frog to stick around. Well, Ghost Quarter with Ramanub Excavator could do some things. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see. Can't attack, pass the turn. Oh yeah, we're not in stream mode, are we? So yeah, I've known Jeff for a long time. I love Jeff. Sometimes he gets a little aggro-y on Twitter. But I think I've just gotten used to that being Jeff, essentially. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pay for the pact. Play Urborg. Get Primeval Titan. Okay. Primeval Titan. Well, now we're just going to have to kill our opponent like a dirty Titan player. Wait, does this give haste for 1? Oh, it does. Okay. So, Valakut and Battlements. Untap them. Oh, what a turn. What a turn. Untap. Primeval Titan. Haste it up. Kill the Teferi. If you have another Solitude Ice. What? Opponent's hand was 3 Teferis, 2 Sol. Oh my god. Where's our modern bannings? Why is Solitude not been banned? Come on now. Okay. And they have a Memory Deluge. Well, this is not looking good. Opponent has lots of action. I watched a video you posted ages ago about playing Axis Immortality. I'm not sure you were doing it right. Ooh. Was I doing it wrong? I'm trying to remember the Axis Immortality deck. That's been a long time. Opponent. Castle. Well, okay. Dread Presence. Ghost Quarter. Draw a card. Lose a life. Ooh! Okay. That we like. That we like to see. Primeval Titan. Resolves. Oh, try to Teferi us, will ya? We will take a... Valakut. Actually, let's go Peatland. Peatland. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Oh, we're going off. All we need is a frog. Untap those lands. Okay. Dread Presence is so good here. Another Amulet. Bajuka Bog. Well, we will play an Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh, I told you I'm not an Amulet player. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, that was really bad. Dressman, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Yeah, tapping the red mana was the problem. We needed. Oh, I gotta think about this as a Primeval Titan deck, I guess. Not just a Gitrog monster deck. Yeah, that was definitely a punt. Yeah, Amulet decks are tough. Although that was a pretty a pretty silly pun. That one should have been easy. Opponent, Teferi, bounces. Teferi number, who knows, 40 million. And, hey, more Teferis. Takes it up. So this means our opponent thinks they can counter our Teferi on the way down. I really wish we had the Cavern. Okay, let's crack this land. Draw a card. Bounce land. Untap. Ooh, Gitrog. Gitrog. That's a Gitrog. That's a Gitrog. The punt was tapping the red mana. You missed lethal. How do we miss lethal? Well, play Gitrog. Do not tap the red mana. That's the one rule. Do not tap the red mana. Opponent, what do you say? Okay, we will play. How do we do this? I wish we had extra land drops. That's what we're missing. Float this mana. Actually, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double fetch. Well, we don't. Valakut's not dealing any damage. Oh, I see. You're talking about. Okay, with Hasty Primeval. Yeah, well, we didn't even get to the Hasty Primeval Titan part of things. we missed that part. All right, float this mana. But I think you're right. If we had the Hasty Primeval Titan, then I think we could have had lethal. Here, I'm definitely expecting that our opponent has a counter. So untap. Tap. Oh my god, I've never played Amulet Titans. One of the reasons I never play Amulet Titan is because of the punt. The massive punt potential. And we're gonna, oh, I forgot. I might not have played this deck if I'd remembered how punny I am with Amulet. Alright, make a bunch of mana. Pick up the Spreading Seas land. Draw a card. Another Heartless summonings. Well, I mean, play Primeval Titan. Has it gotta be getting countered? It's gotta be. There's no way it's not. Primeval Titan. Opponent does have a counter. Well, this time we have haste. Haste up the Gitrog. Bajukabog your graveyard. Draw a card. I'm disappointed there's no bans in Modern. I'm tired of seeing Luris. Also, today's my birthday. Happy birthday, Badger. Yeah, I mean, Luris is the card that I most wanted to see banned in Modern, like, by a pretty wide margin. What do you think about the new nerfs and buffs? So we talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the stream, and we'll talk about it more, I'm sure, as we're going along. Oh, okay. Okay, that's one way to get around a counter spell, is just keep drawing Primeval Titans. Wait, can we win now? Is there a way we win here? Primeval Titan. Should we be going damage? Yes. Get Valakut and Verdant Catacombs. Okay, now we got, oh no, do we actually gotta think? Oh, chat, I don't want to think. I don't want to think. Oh no. Oh no. We tapped the red mana to give Gitrog Monster Haze, so that was not a punt. They do not give refunds on Nerf cards. Unfortunately, they should. Oh, chat. I don't want to think about this. Okay, so do we even have a fetchable land yet? I think we do. Time to play a new deck? I don't think that's true. How many? I don't think we have any fetchable lands, right? We have a single Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, so we don't have any lands that we can fetch, which is awkward. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. In that case, we're going to draw cards. We're just going to keep drawing cards. Crumbling Vestige. Oh my god, that's right, at Ilsa Grove. Okay. Untap, untap. tap. I mean, I don't think we're casting anything anyway. Tap, untap. We can draw one more card with this. Tap, untap. Crack, draw with Gitrog, no lands defied. Oh, it's just Teleria West. Okay. Wait. Does Teleria West do anything? Dryad. I think we can keep going. Teleria West. Now we might actually win? Teleria West draws us a Dryad. We get Summoner's Pack. Summoner's Pack cast. Oh! We still got there. We still got there. We are punting our way to victory. I mean, I guess when you get to this point, it doesn't really matter what you do. You're just gonna be able to win. And I think that's where we've officially gotten to. Hit you. Hit you. Then we get to pick up this Hasteland. We get to play a Dryad, so we get another land drop. Replay the Hasteland. Valakut you. Valakut you. Oh no. There's so many ways for this to go wrong. Although the most obvious puns were easy ones. Okay, well, that is exactly how you play this deck. Got him. So to go back to the Mannings, because people keep asking about it. I think the actual Mannings are really good. I'm curious what more heavy Legacy players think. I've only played a bit of Legacy lately. I love Legacy, but it's not a format I get to play. Punt until you win. Punt until you win. I mean, in my defense, I grew up a Bills fan, so if there's one thing I know, it's punting. That's changed a little bit recently in the last couple of years, but traditionally, I mean, I'm not even joking. Like, growing up, this is a true story, and I don't know if any of you even care about American football, but growing up a Bills fan, the Bills have been the worst for so long. They really the hero, the star player on the Bills when I was growing up was actually literally the punter. It was Brian Mormon, who is literally the punter. You know you are the worst football team when the star player on your team is literally the person who does the job that is least beneficial. Like, I mean, you gotta have a punter, but that means your team is doing really, really poorly. And then, even better, the one reason let me see if I can find it. The one reason the punter is famous outside of Buffalo, and remember, this was our hero. This was the one good player on our team. The one reason the punter's famous is for getting absolutely wrecked during an exhibition game, during an all-star game. He faked a punt and just got absolutely wrecked.
On the run, and he's going to come up short. Sean Taylor. Mormon played it.
He just decided to run with it.
That is.
If it was a fake, it might be he just decided to run with it, but Sean Taylor came from about 30 yards back and just ran right to.
Yeah, that was during an all-star game. Yeah, so that is why I'm good at punting. All that to say, my experience growing up as a Bills fan, where the punter was the all-star, and the punter also got wrecked during the all-star game, it made me good at punting. Not even intentional. There's nothing. It's not my fault. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not my fault. The punts are not my fault. It's just like genetic, I guess. Oh no, we're running out of time. Oh, I don't know if we made it or not. So what do you think of the? Yeah, we should have made more changes if we had not run out of time. So what do you think about the legacy changes? Like, ooh, this R1 Cavern's gonna be good. I mean, the clip was pretty good, right? It's worth not sideboarding against blue-white control. Well, Forest and Amulet, go. What do you think about top being unbanned in Modern? I wonder if it would help fight unfair decks. The problem with top is not that top is... Ooh, we probably go for this. The problem with top is not that top itself is overpowered. The problem with top is it slows things down way too much. There might be an argument that now that more Magic is being played digitally, maybe it would be okay. However, I mean, that's kind of the issue with top, is just the speed at which it makes the game be played. Johnny Shima, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. So yeah, that's one of the few cards where it's banned for non-power level reasons. Another one is probably the egg stuff, like KCI. Although that deck is powerful sometimes, I think that really the fact that it is so mind-numbingly slow is perhaps even a bigger reason why. Ooh. A bigger reason why it isn't allowed in the format, that is banned in the format. I mean, you still play Counterbalance. Counterbalance is legal. Much harder to set up without top, but it is a legal card. Opponent, take it up to Fairy. And passing. Isn't there still a version of playable eggs? So there's like a grinding station graveyard version that's still... Ooh, double amulet. There's like a grinding station graveyard version that is still somewhat playable. Not nearly as good as it was in the past, but... So that's the closest thing we have. Oh, getting rid of Divide by Zero. I think that Divide by Zero is sneakily one of the most important bannings from today. Like... I think that we would be So here's what I think happens. If you think about the standard bannings, and to pull these up again. So if we think about these standard bannings, what do these standard bannings do? First, they greatly hurt the Epiphany decks. So that's number one. Epiphany is going to get worse. And they really hurt the aggro decks, the mono white and mono green, with Faceless Haven being gone. So what happens if those two decks get a lot worse? My guess would be the top deck in standard would be some sort of Lear Hullbreak Horror style control deck with Divide by Zero. And Divide by Zero is really a super huge important card to that archetype working. Oh, come on, opponent. Come on, opponent. Digs up to Fairy. Sure. Jeez, All right. Well... Opponent is doing their best to annoy us to death. Cavern on... Oh, it's probably got to be Giant. And Giant. Simic Growth Chamber. Pick up a Forest. Pass the turn. So I'm hopeful that with these changes, maybe mid-range can be more of a thing. I would love to see mid-range be a thing. I think that's going to be especially... Opponent catches into Fairy. I think that's going to be especially important heading into Kamigawa, where we got all this ninjutsu stuff, we got Samurai, we got all these like cool kind of mid-rangey feeling tribes. Really hoping that maybe this BNR allows some of those to shine. I built a Grace's Lutri deck for Historic last night, and it was a blast, but now Lear is nerfed. Should I add white for Teferi? I really don't know. Ooh. Now what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I mean, we probably just have to Primeval Titan, right? I think we have to. We have uncounterable Primeval Titan. So I think what we have to do, uncounterable Primeval Titan, we can get a bounce land to pick up the Cavern to make Gitrog uncounterable next turn. So we need a bounce land. Bounce land and... I don't even know. Bounce land and what? Alex Mateo for the 32nd month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Get a Valaka and get a... Actually, maybe we just want 2 bounce lands. 2 bounce lands might be better. Because we kind of want a bounce land in our hand. All right, bounce land and Catacombs. Let's go with that. I think bounce land Catacombs is fine. So the bounce land lets us pick up the Cavern. And then we can pass the turn. Next turn we make Gitrog uncounterable. Yeah, the haste land doesn't do a whole lot this turn without having Amulet down. We have a new donation from El Cid Kempador. Opponent Hardcast a Solitude. Since we're in the NFL playoffs, why do Magic players call it a punt when a fumble seems like the correct turn? So I want to say that punt comes from poker. Does anyone know the origins of punt? I'm actually interested because I'm not 100% sure. My guess is it's a poker turn. Modern Loot Tree. Yeah, send me a link to Bluevid. I mean, so far every Loot Tree deck I've ever seen is essentially just a Crim deck that's built like a commander deck. Which those, like, I don't know. To me, that's not like super intriguing because it's kind of just a control deck with weird numbers. If it's something more than just like, I don't know, instead of the second Fatal Push, I'm playing a Doomblade or whatever. That would actually be super interesting. Ooh, Herald Lantern. Let me see Ripped. That sounds sweet. Yeah, I'm actually not sure the origins of punt in Magic. I'd have to research it. Thank you for the donation, El Cid. Definitely appreciate it. Favorite MTG content creator? Probably LSV. I really enjoy watching LSV play Magic. LSV is one of the few people in all of Magic content that is kind of the holy grail of being actually really good at playing Magic and also very entertaining. There's a lot of people that are entertaining but not super great at Magic. There's a lot of which I probably fall into that category. Super great. I mean, I'm a fine Magic player, but to the context of, like, you know, Hall of Fame Platinum level pro, and then there's people who are Platinum level pro, Hall of Fame level players, but most of them aren't super entertaining. LSV is one of the few that actually has both. So we're going to go horror. We're going to play Gitrog Monster. So I'd probably go with LSV. I also like Gab Nassif stream as well. All right, Frog, uncounterable. Please stop solituding us, opponent. Correct. The Catacombs draw a card. Urborg. Not great. Okay. Get a forest. Oh, do we even run this out or do we wait? 1, 2, 3, Dryad? Please, no killy. No killing of the Dryad. Okay. Valakut. Snipe and Snipe. Untap. We're getting there. I mean, yeah, I don't think I'm a bad Magic player, but I'm not a Hall of Fame, like, LSV level Magic player. So that's one thing I appreciate about LSV. Combining both of those things together is just a rare trait in Magic content. I have a friend who has a sweet 9-mana oh man, it's gotta be Grolzolf? Is it a Grolzolf deck? I would love to see 9-mana tribal, because I have no idea how you can make that work. Literally no idea how you make it work. Opponent, more Teferis. Never-ending string of Teferis. We hit a pretty useless oh yeah, we're probably dead now. Oh my god, Teferis. Opponent. So I will say I haven't really watched LSV stream much. I've mostly know him from his video content on Channel Fireball. So I'm actually not sure about the minor spats with chat and whatnot. One of the downsides of making a lot of content is you just don't have that much time to watch content. So I don't get that many opportunities to just watch random people stream. Opponent. Will we finally see extra turn spells being printed in standard? I mean, if anything is going to wake Wizards up and make them realize that extra turn spells just cannot be a thing, it might be having to ban another. Like, if they just got to ban them every time they print them, why even bother to keep printing them? So hopefully that's how Wizards sees it. Oh, tough Aries. Yeah, we're actually literally dead, right? I mean, I guess we have to play Azusa. Because if we don't play Azusa, then we have to chump with it. Well, I guess we should have sideboarded rather than punting. Pick it up. Pass the turn. About it. Kung Pao anniversary. I've never seen Kung Pao. Is it worth watching? I don't really know many Kung Fu. Oh my god. Opponent draws a new handful of cards. I don't really know many Kung Fu. Is that like the the S tier Kung Fu movie? I don't really know Kung Fu movies, like, period. Can we stop fostering constant ban talk? I mean, today was a BNR day, so I think today's probably a good day to talk about bannings. I would say. Upload it. I mean, Wizards just like literally ban a bunch of cards. So I think this is the time when it's probably most proper to talk about it. Opponent. Gitrog monster. All right. Yep. Dead. See, companions overpowered. The Kahira giving your opponent lethal. Oh, let me see lipped. Herald Lantern. Yeah, Herald of Anguish is definitely an interesting option for Lantern. I mean, another nice part of the Urza Saga beatdown plan. It's cool that it's a way you can like get rid of a ensnaring bridge or whatever. I think that's definitely a neat synergy. Yeah, I like the idea, MTG Gaming. Herald of Anguish, I think, it's one of those cards that it feels like it's got the power level that sooner or later it could actually break out in a format like Modern. Maybe that's the deck. What do we cut? This is a hard deck to cut lands from. Super NATO, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup here for you. Thank you. About it. Wait, why are we talking about Jeff? All right, so all right, here's my thoughts on Jeff and Twitter. My thoughts are, I love Jeff. Yeah, I'd love to see the Grolzolf list. That would be sweet. So here's my thoughts. I've talked with Jeff on Twitter for a long time. I've known Jeff for quite a while. Sometimes when we talk about stuff on about Magic on Twitter, it can end up getting a little heated, I guess, because we have strong opinions about things. It's not something I take offense to. So I know it's something a lot of people have asked me about. So Jeff has strong opinions about things. My feeling is when it comes to Magic related stuff, I don't know, if you disagree with me and you want to let me know, I am perfectly fine with that. So yeah, I mean, that's just that's just kind of how it goes. And it's been like that with me and Jeff on Twitter for a long time, where Jeff Hoogland, someone else who does Magic coverage and streaming. So I like Jeff for a long time. So yeah, that's just kind of how the process goes. I think I remember like having strong disagreements about the London Mulligan rule that ended up getting, pretty heated. So that's just something that happens. It's not something that I take offense to. So I appreciate everyone being like concerned about it, but honestly, I think it's just kind of how it goes on Twitter sometimes. Why are you answering the opponent in chat? Oh, when they typed it, I was in the middle of doing a whole bunch of other things. I try to respond when I get a chance, but it's actually occasionally tricky. Well, I mean, we're gonna keep this because we got Thoughtseize. Opponent. Well, Urborg, Thoughtseize. What do you got going on over there, opponent? Double Supreme Verdict. And that's about it. All right, well, take the Celestial Purge. We could really use another land, a non-bounce land. Opponent passes. Well, there's Gitrog. Thoughtseize. Take Archmage's Charm. Bounce land. Pick it up. Come on, fetch lands. Any lands really, but especially fetch lands. Opponent. Misty Rainforest passes. Oh, Amulet. Well, tap. Heartless Summonings. And... oh my goodness, they top decked... really? Their top deck was Counterspell? Oh, wow, that's not good. Oh, all right. That's not good at all. Whoo! Opponent Greg's Misty Rainforest. Opponent. I think we're gonna get a standard Eureka. Wow! Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow, this is brutal. Amulet. Valaka. Untap. Oh my goodness. Blue-Eye Control is a tough deck to beat anyway, and wow. It is a triply tough deck when when every perfect thing comes off the top. Ay. Opponent. So, I mean, could we get a version of Eureka in Standard? I think that's definitely a possibility. Maybe even likely. Are we going to get a reprint of the original Eureka? I think there is almost 0% chance of that happening. Well, we're going to attack the Teferi. Opponent's going to instant speed Wrath. Somehow, our deck is unable to draw land to save our life. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough. Oh no, and this is how we lose. About the BNR, I'm personally sad about the nerf of Town Razor Tyrant, but that's just me being a nasty Ponza player. Yeah, Alchemy it's really wild. I feel like Wizards doesn't get to test Alchemy cards nearly as much as they test other cards. So I'm not surprised that we're going to see a ton of bans. Well, play Ramanap Excavator, play Nurturing Peatland. I don't think we get out of this, though, because our opponent has yet another instant speed Wrath. And then they get to bounce the Amulet, and then they just take over. Those two top decks really got us. Opponent, Wrath, number 2. Yeah, we could have played around the Wrath if it didn't also go with our opponent with those runner top decks. Those runner top decks were just... that did us in. That counter spell was brutal. Opponent finds a Spreading Seas, draws another card. Yup. Abriel Grazer doing what it does. Opponent gets Kahira. Busted. I mean, I think that every companion should be banned. What's your thoughts on companions, chat? Because my feeling is pretty strongly that every single one of them should be banned. I'll get Gitrog monster for minimal value, pass the turn. I think Town Razor Tyrant is like one of the best cards from Alchemy. Opponent top decks an Amulet. Teferi bounces our Gitrog monster. Well, this is just downright depressing at the moment. We draw a bounce land that doesn't do anything. Well, pay a bounce land, yeah. It might just be scoop time, honestly. Like, yeah, then none of this does anything. Yeah, I think some companions just don't have a severe enough restriction for being a free 8th card. Yeah, Cube is one thing. Like, Cube is I think, a different format than Constructed. Opponent. More Teferis. Grolzolf Infestation. Who? That's a super funny idea. So try to get Grolzolf in the graveyard and then tutor up a bunch of 9 drops to discard the zombie infestation. I think that's actually a super hilarious idea. Well, all right, let's get our Gitrogs countered and then I think it will probably be concession time. Gitrog. Wow, resolved. All right. Miracles happen. Blow up a land, draw a card. Opponent. Oh, they have a Solitude, I see. Whew, straight gas. Straight gas. Opponent. Solitude. Yeah, Dread Presence. Well, pass the turn. Opponent untaps with their Teferis. Yeah, our time's pretty low, but I don't think the game's gonna go long enough for that to matter. I think it's pretty over at the moment. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dread Presence. Opponent. All right, nothing for that. So we get to shoot down Teferi. Thank goodness. Opponent. Another Solitude. Whiff for once, opponent. Just once. One time. Please. Well, we'll pick up our Urborg, I guess. Kill the Teferi. Pass the turn. Opponent. Spreading Seas a bounce land. Draws a card. I mean, we're trying. The problem is our opponent. Oh my goodness. The problem is our opponent is just like, solid action. Kahira, the companion. Opponent goes attacking. We take a few million. We untap. We draw a Rot Farm. Well, we will play a land. Play Gitrog monster. One card in our opponent's hand. Are they finally out of solid gas? Bounce land. Pick up a bounce land. Pass the turn. All right. Let's hope that our opponent is finally out of action. We still have some amount of a chance here. Opponent. Land. Still one card in hand. What is it? Fires up Celestial Colonnade. Goes to combat. Gets in for 5. See, Kahira, it's a combo that's actually pumping that for more damage. Busted. Busted. Down to 9. Well, we got a second land. Which I guess will be... I I guess we'll be this rot farm. We draw an extra card. Come on. More grazers. Grazers for days. All right, so, oh no, what do we do? What do we do? We're running low on time too. All right, Summoner's Pact. We need more lands. Summoner's Pact. Get what? What do we do? Oops All Spells is fun. It's very all in, but when it works, it's pretty hilarious. Oh, how do we avoid dying? We don't have enough lands for Valakut. We're one short. I mean, the problem is we're taking 5 in the air, so we're very, very, very close to just being straight up dead. I don't know that Tireless Tracker does enough to get us out of it. Food or a treasure, clue. Yeah, no, we don't. We're a land short of Valakut. We need 5 other mountains, so we need six lands in all. I'll take Tireless Tracker, I guess. Play Tireless Tracker. Well, we'll see. Floating green mana down to 8. Bounce land, make a clue. Oh, we got to do this with a pain land too? Ugh, that hurts. Pick up the peat land. Replay the peat land. Make a clue. Grazer. No land to put into play. Pass the turn. Oh, yeah. All right, pass the turn. There's no way we're going to 27 our opponent before we run out of time. Opponent. Yeah, I mean, Oops is like, it's a deck that can win on turn 1. Like, it is a... Opponent hits Prismatic Ending. Oh, they actually have the red mana too? Jeez. Jeez Louise. Yeah, we're definitely timing out here. About it, Celestial Colonnade. Yeah, I mean, Oops All Spells is really powerful. The challenge is, especially in like Legacy, if you get hit by a Force of Will, you kind of just lose. So it's one of those decks that when it works, it's insane. When it doesn't work, it is the opposite of insane. Well, we go to 1. Sack the peat land, draw a card. Dread Presence. There's a world where that would have been good, but this isn't the one. And yeah, well, that does it. Oh, too slow. Can we see Thopter Gifts Sword on against Odds or Bunch Brew? I've always loved that deck, and I wanted to see if it's still good. Ooh, what were you thinking, Badger? So one of the things that's got me when it comes to yeah, we didn't time out. One of the things that gets me when it comes to the Thopter Sword deck is I feel like whenever I look at it or start to try to build it, it becomes like just an Urza Emery deck. And maybe that's fine. Maybe that's still interesting. But it feels a lot. It feels like you end up winning with the non-Thopter Sword cards. Like it's really like the Thopter Sword is just kind of in the deck, and then it's the Modern Horizons cards that are like the busted cards. Chopped grilled chicken breast, spiced with fajita spices, salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, garlic, and basil, and mozzarella, crulanto, and ranch, wrapped in tortillas and layered with grated oiled pan, set for a minute in a bit of grilled sear. Ooh, that sounds delicious, Magikarp. Very, very delicious. All right. Well, hopefully we're not up against the control deck again. It would be fun to play against a deck where we got to do things. That game, we tried to do things. We just got everything countered. My room and I are looking into start playtesting Modern, hoping to buy into the format and play in a big event. Where would you suggest we start? Ooh, so Modern is a great format. My favorite format. Starting is tough though. The challenge is, do you play online at all? I think part of the... Oh, you're doing like Gifts Reanimator with the sword stuff. Do you have a list, Badger? That sounds spicy. I like the idea. Opponent, DRZ Bobble. The challenge of getting started in Modern is really the cost. So that's kind of the... Wow, okay, we might be able to do some things. Amulet is kind of a messed up card. I don't know if we've ever played an Amulet deck, but this is a little bit bonkers. So Golgari Rot Farm is going to untap. We get to tap it. Wow, this is insane. We get to pick it up. Then we play Azusa. And then we get to Golgari Rot Farm. Untap it. Tap it. Pick it up. Golgari Rot Farm. Untap it. Tap it. Pick up a Forest. Dread Presence. Go. Turn 2. That's turn 2. Hey, what's up, Woodzo? How are you? Hey, Seth. If I can make a deck builder on Aberrant Grazer where the key part of... If I can build a deck around Aberrant Grazer where it's a key part of the jank, will you try it out? Possibly. I mean, we're playing Aberrant Grazer today, so I don't have a hard and fast rule about never playing Aberrant Grazer, although I do kind of have a love-hate relationship when it comes to Grazer. Grazer, oh my, we've even seen it in these games where Grazer, like, when it's good, it's pretty powerful. When it's not good, oh my goodness, it is like the worst top deck in history. So I would consider it. I never promise that I'll play a deck without having seen the deck, but if you build a deck with Grazer being a key part of the jank, I will at least strongly consider it as a deck that I would play. Abundant. Unholy Heat's the Azusa. Boo. Okay. Unholy Heat. Unholy Heat was actually one of my Dark Horse ban picks. It was on my list. It was on my list of possibilities. I kind of feel like banning it would be fine. Well, this is going to be interesting. So we can Verdant Catacombs, crack it for a swamp. I think we got to kill these Dragon Rage channelers. So get a swamp. Snipe a Dragon Rage channeler while we can. Oh, this is actually going to be a great turn. Dried of the Ilsen Grove. Bajuka Bog. Nice graveyard. Snipe a Dragon Rage channeler. Okay, that we like. That we like. Oh, take that, Modern Horizons too. Oh, Unholy Heat. It's too close to hard removal. We've talked about it quite a bit, but it's too close to hard removal. The order doesn't matter there, right? I mean, 2 damage, then Graveyard Exiles, it shrinks and dies, or vice versa. Like, does that order actually matter in some way? Opponent. Oh, Gitrog. Okay. Opponent. Hey, see you, Gookex. Karaxa gets our last land. Okay. A little bit obnoxious. Well, a land would be good. Land draws us cards. We basically just don't want some big random 6-drop. Well, I mean, that is castable. If we ever draw land, it's going to be so much damage. Dread Presence Part 2. Doing it without the Heartless summoning this time. What do you think of the alchemy rebalances? This is something we haven't talked about too much, and I'm really, really curious about this. What do you think about... Oh, I see what we're saying. To try to exile the channeler. Voidwalker. Ragavan. What do you think about the Teferi thing? Like, are you excited that Teferi is sort of playable? Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ghost Quarter. We're going to draw this time. We got to draw. I mean, we get 2 shots to hit a land. Oh, actually, would we have had lethal? I think we do have lethal, don't we? We do. All right. Well, I guess we kill our opponent. I guess that also works. Kill that. Kill that. I didn't realize our opponent was at 6. We haven't even really damaged our opponent. Opponent must have done that to themselves with their greedy mana base. No way we were close to hitting our opponent for that much. I don't like the rebalancings in Historic, but I guess this Teferi is sort of fair. I mean, it's certainly a more fair Teferi. For the Thopter Sword list, I don't have one on me, but I remember one having things like Tezzeret, Agent of Bolus. Oh, yeah, that's a sweet list, Badger. I remember like the old school Gifts Reanimator. I know what your lists are talking about now. I know what list you're talking about. Yeah, that is a really fun archetype. Historic changes did nothing right. Is it still the best deck? Well, okay, so here's how they do something. So in Historic, they finally actually banned Memory Lapse. So that means after several months of waiting, we get our wild cards back. And now that thousands of players are going to have 4 extra rare, I believe, wild cards, maybe they can use those wild cards to, spend on some really sweet tech that dethrones Izzet in Historic. That's my theory. The community is flush with wild cards. It's like when people get their tax refund and then you can go out and buy like a big TV or something. That's basically what's happening in Historic. We get our wild card refund finally. Boom. We can go buy some jank that might be able to beat Izzet. But really, I mean, as far as the actual changes to Historic, I don't think anything changes. Like all of these nerfs and buffs hit Historic. Actually, we should sideboard first, right? We don't want to do that again where we forget to sideboard. Elder Gargaroth. It does have sneaky reach. It is big. Calling Ritual gets everything in a Lurrus deck, right? Maybe we Calling Ritual. Calling Ritual seems decent. Definitely feel like we want Fatal Push. Fatal Push seems really good. This is a hard list to cut much from. I feel like almost everything is essential. Like Grazer blocks Monkey. Heartless summoning we want for ramp. All of our tireless stuff is good. Extra land drops are good. I mean, if anything, maybe we can trim a land. Bajuka Bog is actually a good land. Like maybe we go down to Teleria West for a Teleria West and maybe 1 bounce land, and then Calling Ritual. I want to try Calling Ritual. I just want to see if Calling Ritual is actually good. And let's try it like that. Good enough. But I think these alchemy changes, like, I don't actually think they're going to be impactful to Historic. Like, Issarak doesn't actually make a difference. The funny thing about the Issarak nerf, so the Issarak change, basically it had an option when it attacked for your opponent to sack a creature. They remove the option. So now it's when it attacks, you just make some zombies essentially. That Issarak isn't about. I don't know if I've ever seen an Issarak on the battlefield attacking, making zombies. Like that's not ever what Issarak does. What Issarak does is bounces back to your hand and has like combo potential. So this is like the funniest nerf to me because who attacks with an Issarak? Has anyone in chat? One person. You actually did it, Ryu? Okay, so we got one. Has anyone else, any non-Ryu person, ever actually attacked with an Issarak? I don't think I ever have. I don't think I've ever actually had an Issarak like on the battlefield. Okay, limited, that makes sense. I bet it happens in limited, but this nerf doesn't affect limited, right? It's still just a hilarious nerf to me because it's like, who attacks with Issarak? Wait, it's a buff? Wait. Oh, it is under, hang on. I don't even know. All the nerfs and buffs, I guess, kind of mixed together. Okay, like, how is this a buff? So the old version, the bounce part's the same. When it attacks for each opponent, you create a 2/2 black zombie creature token unless that player sacks a creature. I mean, I guess technically that's a buff because your opponent has the choice. So if they want to sacrifice to not give you a zombie, they can. If they don't want to sacrifice, they don't have to. So I guess the opponent not having a choice is technically a buff. Although it's just like, it's still a hilarious buff to me because it's just like, that's not what a Sarek is about. not in Constructed, at least. It's not an attacking card. It's just so, like, usually you actively choose to not venture through the dungeon. All the Sarek decks I've played, you actively choose not to venture through the dungeon. That might end up with it staying on the battlefield because you would rather have it doing other shenanigans. Kid Cozy, 25 months. That's almost 26 months indeed. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Sorry about the Bills. Honestly, I mentioned this earlier. I came away from the game a little bit disappointed, but really I felt pretty good about it. Like, last year the Bills played the Chiefs and honestly couldn't keep up. This year I think the Bills showed that they were every bit as good as the Chiefs. Like, it really came down to who ended up getting the ball first in overtime was what determined the game. So I felt pretty good about it. Like, obviously would have felt better if they had won, but I didn't come away from it feeling super disappointed. The buff is a relevant part of the card. Yeah, so technically I guess it's a buff, but I would argue that it's really very close to no change. Because the amount of times when you're attacking with a Sarek anyway is just so low. Yeah, I would agree that the overtime rule should probably change. Like, my disappointment with the overtime rule wasn't that the Bills lost. It was that the end of that game was so insane that like the last two, if you didn't watch the game, it was honestly might be the best football game I've ever watched. Like, it might seriously be the best football game that I've ever seen. And basically what happened at the end of the game was the Bills were losing. They scored with, oh my goodness, I'm going to get this time frame wrong. They scored with like 2 minutes to go to take the lead. And then the Chiefs scored with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go, a touchdown to take the lead back. Then the Bills scored a touchdown with 14 seconds to go to take the lead back. And then the Chiefs got a field goal with time running out to tie the game. Then it went to overtime and the Chiefs won the coin flip, and they obviously scored because neither team had any chance of stopping each other in the end of that game. And they just scored. And then the rule is if you score a touchdown, you just win. So since the Chiefs just scored, the game ended. So my disappointment wasn't really that the Bills lost as much as the game was just so insane that it was really disappointing for it to end with just one team having the ball. I'm sure if the Bills had won, maybe I would feel like slightly less bad about it because obviously, you know, I'd be celebrating the victory, but still, like, it was just so anticlimactic. As someone who was just a fan of watching football games, it was just like, after such a great end to the regulation, it was just like such a boring ending, honestly. So I would like to see them change the rules, not so much because my team lost, but because I think it just does a disservice to the game after like such an awesome game. Do I prefer the college rules? College rules are a little wonky. College rules are weird because you end up, I mean, in college, I think each team just starts at the 25-yard line. Each team just starts at the 25-yard line. Oh, we're going to get double. Well, all right. Oh, discard from Evil Titan, I think. You just start the 25-yard line and keep going back and forth. It leads to some weird things where you have like a 14-14 game that ends like 60 to whatever. All right. Dread Presence. Schwamp. Draw a card to get around this Croxa. All right, pass the turn. This is going to be close. This is going to be super close. Opponent untaps. They got the Croxa of the graveyard. The nightmare is they can kill the Croxa or kill our Dread Presence and get back Croxa. If they can only do either or, this is kind of fine. But like Unholy Heat into... Gosh darn it. Oh, the nightmare. The nightmare. The nightmare's happened. Opponent gets in with a Ragavan. About it. Well, go Gitrog. Can Gitrog hold down the fort here? The problem is this Crox is coming back. We needed our opponent not to be able to do both things. One thing was okay, but our opponent having both of those things is definitely a problem. So yeah, I don't know if I prefer the college rules or not, honestly. But I do think the current rule could be improved. I mean, I don't know. You could take the current rule and just say that both teams get a chance to get the ball. Like that would be an improvement. And if the first team scores a touchdown, the second team would have to essentially match them or else they would lose. That would be fine. Ugh, Amulet. This Croxa is a issue. Get a forest because we're probably gonna have to. We're gonna have to chump Croxa with Gitrog. Ugh. Why is our 5-drop frog trading down with a 2-drop? Ragavan spiking up to infinite now. I'm curious what Moto prices are doing actually. I know there was a deck I was putting together earlier, and I needed a playset of Urza's Sagas, and Card Hoarder only had 3, the card rental program I use, so I had to buy one, and the price went up like $20 between the ban list and like a half hour later when I was putting the deck together. Opponent gets in, and we discard a Amulet. You know what? I think we block Ragavan. I think we have to. We block it, we go to 4. The monkey dies, and now we just gotta hope we have an insane turn. So all the changes take, oh my goodness, that's right, of course. The busted cat itself. All the changes take place online on Thursday, which is actually part of the reason that we're playing Modern today, because all the other formats are gonna be changed on Thursday. All right, so we will float a mana, sack a land. Opponent gets to draw a card. We're going to have to hit something really good here. We draw Ramanop Excavator. I don't know if that's good enough. Okay. We draw for our turd, Azusa. So we have extra land drops. Well, this is going to get interesting. How do we avoid dying, though? We got to not die to this Croxa. Huh. All right, so. Ramanop Excavator. Play Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Draw a card drop to 3. Primeval Titan, but can we get to it? I'm not sure we can. Actually, maybe we can. Azusa. So we have 3 land drops still. Azusa. Simic Growth Chamber. Untap it. Tap it. Wait, how do we avoid dying, though? How do we not die to the Croxa? Is this easy? The problem is this 3 direct damage. That's what we got to play around. Like, if we play the Primeval Titan, we're going to be able to gum up the board enough not to die, but we just died to this hitting us for 3. So we got to end with a non-land card in our hand somehow. And that's the part I'm not. Titan does. I don't think Titan wins now. Yeah, I guess cycle and hope for a non. Okay, I think that's the plan. So pick up Simic Growth Chamber, replay it, untap it. So we play Primeval Titan. We get to untap the lands we get with Primeval Titan, and then we cycle the Triome to try to find a non-land to discard. I guess that's the idea. Okay. Tap it. Pick it up. Primeval Titan. Okay. Yes. Valakut. Haste. Untap it. Wow, this is going to come down to a flip of a coin, I think. Untap, untap. Haste up the Primeval Titan. Go to combat. Attack. Oh, can we find a non-land? That is a whole question. Attack. Simic Growth Chamber plus Teleria West. Yeah, maybe that's a safer line. Growth Chamber, Teleria West, transmute for a 0. I mean, that's probably safer than cycling, actually. Oh, wait. Wait, this won't work, though, will it? If we Growth Chamber Teleria West, we fizzle. Hey, what's up, Nugget? How are you? Yeah, lands that go to the graveyard might actually be better. Yeah, we don't have the mana, and we can only do it at sorcery speed, and we'd have to pick up the Teleria West. So our mana would go away at the end of combat, and we wouldn't have the 3 mana to do it. So I don't think we can actually Teleria we need more lands untapped. Oh, yeah, Bog would be good at various points. So, all right, Ghost Quarter is a redraw, and Catacombs is a redraw. Let's get the 2 redraw lands, untap them. All right. That was a good idea. If we had one more land available, that plan would have worked. But because we were completely tapped out, just barely off. All right, so we hit our opponent to 11. We Ghost Quarter to the Den of the Bugbear. Draw a card. Non-land, please. Ooh, Fatal Push. Oh, that's kind of an insane non-land. Wow, that is the ultimate non-land. Okay. Life is significant. Wow, that was such a good draw. Okay. Life is good. Life was bad, but now it's good forever. Ooh, wow, that was so helpful. Opponent land. Well, now we definitely live. We can just kill the Croxa. Do the Voidwalker. Out of cards. Well, crack this. Draw a card. Oh my god, Bajuka Bog. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no. The deck only plays a single swamp. It only has one swamp. Oh, who built this deck? I blame Vince. I blame Vince. This feels like a Vince deck, so I'm gonna blame Vince. Opponent. Oh, I think it actually would have been better if we could kill this Voidwalker. Like, that's what we really wanted to kill. Opponent goes attacking. If we could kill the Voidwalker, then we'd be in business. Yeah, we gotta discard the push. We will block with Excavator. Okay, can we kill our opponent here? Somehow. We're at 2. Wow, this is such a close game. We untap. I think we want the attacking power of Gitrog. Float a mana, because now we don't get to draw cards because of this Voidwalker wrecking us, which is disappointing. Oh my goodness, this is so close. Well, Sagaland. Voidwalker wrecks us. Cycle. Into. Oh my god, that's okay. Okay. That is a good one. Dryad of the Ilson Grove. I think that's the draw we needed. Oh, wow. Dryad. Bajuka Bog. Exile. Kill the... And opponent scoops it up. Oh! Wow. Yeah, the deck is. Wait, what was it? What was the punt in that one? Did I punt in that one? I mean, I expect to punt a lot with this deck, but. Well, what was the punt in that one? A reminder that our sponsor today, Card Kingdom, if you need some magic cards, you get them over at cardkingdom.com. So okay. I mean, so that was good. That was good. We can overcome our punts. I mean, maybe this deck's just kind of busted. I want to talk about some more nerfs before we go into the next round. Because some of them are pretty funny. Okay, so nerfs, alchemy nerfs. So we talked about a Serac. Sure, whatever. It's technically a buff. I don't think it really matters. This one's interesting. Assemble the parts. The reanimation is 1 less mana. So now this is actually pretty efficient. Like, it's 1 to cast, 3 for the reanimation. I think that just makes it the strongest reanimation spell in standard. Sure, it's only as a 4/4, it's only a sorcery, but that actually seems relevant to because you could potentially like get a creature in your graveyard on turn 1 somehow, some sort of looting effect. Turn 2, or self-mill effect. Turn 2, cast this. Turn 3, reanimate it. Like, that's actually pretty fast. Blood Rage Alpha, whatever. Like, I don't think this actually matters. Like, sure, it gets 1 more toughness. No one's going to play it either way. The weird ones, do you think that venturing into a dungeon is going to be a thing now? Like, are we going to be venturing into a dungeon in Alchemy thanks to all of these buffs? Joshua G with a $20 donation. As a huge fan, I was super happy when you picked my Taskier Choices deck for Commander Clash, but having you and Richard both pick my deck this episode made my week. Thanks. Oh, well, Joshua G, you submitted some really sweet decks, so thank you so much for the donation. I had a huge blast playing the Russian Roulette deck. It's one of the most fun I've had playing a Commander deck in quite a while. So thank you for submitting it. Cup Katie Pie, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Hey Seth, I've been playing around in Modern with Selesnya Blitz. Ooh, I haven't really seen green-white Blitz. That looks very spicy. Interesting. Wow, Mem Knights and Ornithopters. Yeah, I mean, get them on the battlefield. Interesting idea. I like it. I've never seen like a green-white prowess deck in Modern, but Clever Luvamancer is quite a card when it goes off. It is a fast clock. That looks sweet. So we have all these dungeon improvements. These cards get better. They're definitely better. Are they better enough for there to be a dungeon deck in Alchemy? I'm still a little bit skeptical that it's actually gonna make a difference. I do think this land got way better, like significantly better. I think that's just because the ability to venture was almost never used, except in Historic Brawl. Yeah, I mean, I think Wizards shot way too low. No, the league's still going. I think Wizards shot way too low with the dungeon stuff. When venture into a dungeon was first spoiled. Let me see, Possibility Reef. So when venture into a dungeon was first spoiled, I was legitimately afraid that it was going to be too busted because you can't really interact with it. Like once it gets going, there's no interacting with it. So I was expecting that it could be really, really strong. But then when we actually saw the cards that venture into a dungeon, they were all just like so unplayable. Like the first one we saw was Nader Paladin, and that one was kind of on curve, like 3 mana, 3/3 with some random upsides. And if they were all sort of like that, then I thought the mechanic was going to be really good. But it turned out the mechanic was really, really bad because pretty much everything that said venture into a dungeon was just so underpowered. So I can see why Wizards might aim low, since you can't interact with the mechanic. I think buffing it kind of makes sense, but I'm not even sure if it's salvageable at this point. Like, it might just be that the mechanic was just made not powerful enough to compete. Like, this Dungeon Dissecting's a million times better. Like, this is actually a card you can put in your deck now. But does that actually matter? Like, is that going to be enough to make a dungeon deck into an actual thing? And I'm still a little skeptical. Ooh, Adamaru. There's a lot of sweet old Kamigawa commanders. It could be sweet to revisit some of those. Yeah, Adamaru's a fun one. Yeah, that looks sweet. I like it. A million times 0 is still 0. That is a good way to put it. Ad nauseum Axis. Ooh. Lose your life with ad nauseum and then switch it. That's a cool idea, Possibility Reef. I like it. One thing I'll say, yeah, actually, I like that idea. I think one thing I'll say about against the odds decks is I try hard to avoid tier archetypes. So if a winning card is Axis of Mortality, even though I really like this list, and I think it probably is a really good way to take advantage of Axis of Mortality, I probably wouldn't play it for against the odds, just because it's a little bit, it's kind of like similar to a tier archetype. Like, you have to ad nauseum stuff. So that's something I try to avoid. There's 1,000,000% nothing wrong with that, but that's just something I realized really early doing this series, that for against the odds in no green mana, for against the odds in specific, I want to try to avoid like, okay, here's this really janky winning card, just throw it into a pre-existing deck, mostly as a challenge. So, but yeah, that does seem like a really good way to actually get value out of Axis of Mortality. Opponent mulliging to 5, playing Tron. Gotta be playing Tron. I asked my friend who's a judge, and 0 life does not make you an illegal target for the swap. Ooh, I think that's true. So you get to 0 life and then switch it. Does anyone remember? Do you remember a Death Shadow deck that would try to go to 0 life to make huge Death Shadows? I think it was the first. It was the first version of Death Shadow. It was Death Shadow that actually had. It was Death Shadow that had Avatar of Hope in it. Does anyone remember this deck, or am I just losing it? I'm pretty sure there was a deck built around going to negative life with Death Shadow. Oh no. Okay, come on, our Ghost Quarter. Well, we're probably not casting Summoner's Pact at the moment. Maybe keeping the no green land hand is too risky. I figured we would find green mana. We got like 30 lands in this deck, opponent. So opponent's playing, they gotta be playing Belcher. Are we dead? Oh god. Start to get rich. Cracks it. Recross the pass. Okay. Okay, go Squirter, please. Yeah, we're probably just literally dead now. Opponent probably needs 2 turns to win, but actually, depending on their build, they might be able to win next turn. Can our opponent count to 7? That is the age-old belching question. Well, as our opponent stacks their entire deck, I will say this, oh boy, it's such a cool synergy. I love when a card can be abused in a way where it clearly wasn't intended. Like Recross Pass, it's supposed to be no, you don't want another Urborg. Recross Pass is supposed to be a Gitrog monster. Recross Pass is supposed to be just like a weird clashy twist on a Ram spell, and people have managed to turn it into this stack your entire library tutor card, which I think is actually like really cool when that happens. All I want in life is another Battle Bond or Conspiracy. I mean, I expect that we're gonna get another one eventually. Are we dead this turn? Are they playing the Infernal Plunge? Looks like Pact of the Titan, Infernal Plunge, game. Yeah, sacks it. 2 mana, Ritual, 4 mana, Ironcrag Feet, 7 mana, and Goblet Jar Belcher, dead. Yeah, I mean, that's what Belcher does. Yeah. Belcher's pretty good when it works. Well, Necromentia, that beats Belcher if it resolves. Thought Seizes are good. I wish we had more Ghost Quarters. More Ghost Quarters would be really helpful. What is bad? Probably... Random value-y stuff seems less good. Tireless Provisioner. Maybe the Summoner's Pact. Summoner's Pact can't tutor up anything that actually stops the combo. Couple lands, go 27. Let's try it like that. I know Gavin has been saying he's looking at another Battle Bond. Yeah, I expect it'll be a couple of years. At least another year. Because this year we know we got Commander Legends too. So I definitely am thinking that we won't have it this year. And then next year we also know we got the Lord of the Rings set. Maybe 2 years till we can go back to Battle Bond. Do you have any thoughts on the commanders that got leaked today? Oh, do we want to talk about them? All right. So fair warning. You may have already seen these because they were literally the top post on the Magic Reddit today. If you are trying to avoid leaks of Kamigawa, I would say to avert your eyes for a moment. Give me like 2 minutes because someone has asked about these cards. So if you're trying to avoid all leaks, avert your eyes. Fair warning. Necromentia. Ooh. Well, I mean, we gotta try this. We don't have any black mana Dryad, so we need land. 1, 2, turn 4. Is that even fast enough? Can we even keep this? No. When someone asks, we talk about the leagues, but I just like to give people fair warning because I've had people in the past say that they try to avoid all leaks. So I just try to make sure everyone has a chance to opt out if they don't want to talk about leagues. Something I learned a while ago, which I think is pretty fair. Like, that's why I don't. I love to talk about Magic cards, so I 100% am down with talking about whatever cards show up. But that's why I don't tweet about leaks anymore, is because someone made the good point that, like, some people don't want to see them, and on Twitter, you don't have a way to opt out. It just comes across your feed. So that's kind of my technique when it comes to stuff like that now. So this hand, turn 1 land, turn 2 land, turn 3 Dryad, turn 4 Necromentia. The question is that even fast enough? And I don't think it is. Like a good Belcher hand, we've been wheeled by then, or they've just killed us. So I think we actually have to mulligan. All right, this we're definitely keeping. This hand gives us turn 3 Necromentia, which, I mean, could get Veil of Summered, but if we don't get Veil of Summered, that should just win us the game. Bounce land to the bottom for now. All right, here we go. If you would ban or unban 4 cards in Modern, what would they be and why? Ooh, good question, Death Con Warrior. So ban or unban 4 total. I would unban Birthing Pod. I would unban Glimpse of Nature. I would ban... Can I say companions? Can I just ban the entire mechanic? If I ban the entire mechanic, that would be the best. Otherwise, I would ban Luris, and I would ban... I think Urza Saga. Boy, this is really close. I've been going back and forth between Ragavan or Urza Saga being the next card to ban. I'm still very torn on which one is the right one. But after that Lantern stream, like, the more I play with and against Urza Saga, the more I become just, like, shocked at just how strong that card is. It's kind of mind-blowing, just, like, how powerful it really is. So at first, like, I remember 6 months ago, Krim was saying, like, oh, you know, I'd rather ban Urza Saga than Monkey, and I thought that was crazy. Now I've gotten to the point where I don't fully agree, but I see some merit to that position. I think it's actually super close. Well, all right, opponent. Sorry, friend. No Belchers for you. Aaron Forsythe said they probably will never unban Pod. I think Pod is an opponent. Scoops it up with some. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. I think it's actually interesting. In Modern, there's a lot of cards that if Wizards banned, I would not be upset about. These are cards that I would not call for a banning for most of those. That's always a controversial thing, like calling for bannings, or you're trying to get something banned. So these are cards where I'm like, you know, trying to say I really think they have to be banned, but if a BNR came out when they were gone, I would actually be pretty happy. Luris is a one card where I will say, like, very directly, I think it should be banned. I think the companion mechanic was a mistake. I would love to see the whole mechanic banned. I would settle for Luris and maybe Yarian being banned, but companions are the one thing that I will actively, like, vocally say, like, yes, I support that. Like, 100% get that out of there. What's handing out gift subs to Hypno Chess. and DWD, and The Flash, and Nettis, and Jolis P. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soups here for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that would be something I would say. However, I think there's a strong argument, just looking at the most played cards in Modern, I think that there is a strong argument for Ragavad. I think there's a just as strong argument for Urza Saga, which is apparently just outside the top 10. And then, sneakily, here's my dark horse pick. I honestly really truly think Unholy Heat was a mistake, and I think you can even make an argument that Prismatic Ending is a mistake. I've seen some people talk about like banning the evoke elementals like Endurance and Solitude. I'm actually pretty fine with those cards. I sometimes even like those cards, so I don't think those cards for me are actually a problem. Macorito with the raid, welcome. We are Gitrogging in should be sideboarding, I guess. We're Gitrogging in Modern at the moment. Playing against Belcher on the draw for game 3, probably about to lose. But I actually think there's a real argument for banning Unholy Heat and for Prismatic Ending. Those would be my dark horse choices. Thank you so much for the raid, and welcome, new raiders. We're talking bannings because of the BNR, nerfings, and moderning today. I wonder if there's an alternate companion rule that would make companions fair. Fair would be tough. I think you could obviously make them bad. Like if they cost 6 mana or 8 mana or something to put in your hand, like that would make them unplayable. Like I'm sure there's a point where you can make them unplayable. Fair though, that's really tough. I think Wizards' goal with the nerfing was to make them fair, and it kind of failed. Like, did it make them fairer? Yes. Did it make them fair? Like safe to actually exist? I don't think it did that. Ooh, no black mana. The black mana has been a problem. Do we even keep this? So this is turn 4 Thoughtseize. We're on the draw. We could just draw black mana. Do I think that Hall of Heliod's Generosity is worth it for budget Modern Enchantress? Is like a one of Nemo? I would say yes. As far as playing like a whole bunch of copies, I would say no, but I think it's worth it to have a copy floating around for sure, especially since you have like land enchantments that can make it tap for colored mana. The mana is really not usually a problem, so I think a copy of it's probably worth it. If Lurrus gets bad, would Prismatic Ending still be that good? I think it'd still be pretty insane. I wonder what's the what is the rate in? I mean, so Legacy. So Lurrus was banned in Legacy over a year ago. Actually 2020. So it's been a while since Lurrus has been legal in Legacy. And Prismatic Ending is almost as heavily played in Legacy as it is in Modern. It's in 34% of decks. In Modern, it might actually be higher. In Modern, it's 31% of decks. So it's I don't think that Lurrus has a major impact on the playability of Prismatic Ending in specific. I think one of the problems with Lurrus, and maybe the biggest, we got to mulligan this. I think maybe the I love Heartless Summoning, but all right, well, this we keep. Oh, wait. Wow, we're going for it. All right, bottom. bottom. All right, well, if our opponent has the ability to stop this Necromentia, we are kind of out of luck, but we do have turn 2 Necromentia, which is something. Our opponent might not be expecting it on turn 2. They might not leave their mana up on turn 2. So here's the big issue with Lurrus. I mean, one of the big issues. One of the issues I have with Lurrus is it makes the meta feel so much less diverse than it actually is. So that is one issue. However, I think the biggest issue I have with it is it just kicks so many cards out of the format. You probably have noticed this during spoiler season. When we talk about like the top 10 cards for Modern, it is really hard for cards that cost more than 2 mana to actually make it on the list just because opponent needs untapped green mana, I think, or they... Oh my god, they played it tapped. Oh, I was really worried about Veil of Summer. I think we get him now because we get to play this Urborg, tap it, go Gary Rot Farm, untap it. Oh, it's a bad day to be belching. Untap it. Float mana. Pick up Urborg. Necromentia. Goblin. Char. Belcher. We would like those all to go away. Does our opponent have another way of winning? Ironcrake Feet. They have a Pyromancer Ascension. Does that let them win? Nature's Claim. I mean, I guess they get a zombie. Is our opponent going to try the zombie beatdown? I mean, we did mulligan to 4. I guess they can flashback Spikefield Hazards. All right. I mean, Belcher's down. So we don't got to worry about that. Our opponent's hand isn't great. Well, sure. I mean, if we lose after doing this, then our opponent deserves to beat us. What is the infinite combo with Pyromancer's Ascension out of Belcher? About Twin being unbanned. I feel like I support... I would like to see Twin unbanned. I think Twin would be fine in current Modern. But I kind of feel like... Ooh. But I kind of feel like... I would like to see Birthing Pod unbanned more. Oh, all right, please don't top deck Blood Moon this exact turn. Once we get the Primeval Titan down, it should be pretty over. If our opponent goes Blood Moon, though, all bets are off. And our opponent's just drawing a bunch of new cards. No Blood Moons, no Blood Moons, no Blood Moons, no Blood Moons. Okay, Blood Moon. Well, now hopefully we draw stuff that costs 1 green mana. Oh no. Are we going to lose to the zombie? That actually feels like somewhat possible. Okay, can't cast that past the turn. Oh no. If we lose to 10 zombie attacks, I might just quit Magic. Wow. Oh no. And our opponent. Okay. Huh. Well, that was a really good Valakut Awakening for our opponent. Okay, Mountain, go. We have 1 swamp and 2 more forests. Oh, wow. I didn't know it was possible to lose after our opponent did that. Pod isn't fast enough to compete in the current modern meta of combo decks. I mean, that's kind of my argument. Like, sure, Pod is very consistent, but I feel like it's just too slow to be all that relevant. Oh yeah, I forgot. We got Heartless Summoning. Little over-tapping. Well, past the turn. Mooning and taps. 4 cards in hand. No Belchers. Our opponent is basically Mono Red Prison now. The opponent hits us to 10. We got to stay out of Spikefield Hazard range. Oh, mocking us. It's mocking us. Oh, we needed 1 more turn and none of this would have happened. Opponent. Strike it, Rich. Uh-huh. Hits us down to 8. I mean, I guess they could strike it rich into Angels eventually. Oh, come on, Magic Gods. No. Yeah, Pod, I think Yawgmoth is the one deck that you could just slot Pod into without like building an entire deck while they're going to cast Angels. Oh, they make green mana. Okay. Spikefield Hazard. Goes attacking. Another Necromentia. Oh. Some people have theorized that after the Kamigawa lore thing today that Jin will be killed by Sakashima morphing into a clone of him. Ooh. That would be a cool storyline. I mean, all these Praetors got to be building to some... Oh, jeez. Well, I feel like our opponents run slightly better than. Oh, now we draw the Dryad. Now that it's too late to matter. Oh no! Wow. Opponent untaps. I mean, it's got to be building to something next year. We got to be going back to new Phyrexia. That's got to be where this is going. It's got to be like all these random Praetors, and then the Urza storyline, and then something to do with all these Praetors. Opponent splicing. Are they gonna like shatter skull smashing our Dryad? Oh, I can't believe Belcher's gonna win this. Yup. Wow. Well, fair enough. Good, very good running. I honestly think oh my God, and the next card was a forest. I think if we play that match 100 times, we probably win 95 plus, 96, 97, like some amazingly high number. But that's why you play the games. That's why you play. I mean, that's what makes Magic exciting is you never know what's going to come off the top of your opponent's deck. That Valakut Awakening into just like the perfect cards that exact turn. Yeah, allowed our opponent to pick up the win. Anyone who's played Modern knows about new Phyrexia stuff, but the differences from OG ones to something from the OG ones is something people don't remember. What are the differences between the OG ones? As far as are there more nerfs that we haven't talked about? There might be some more. I don't know what to think about all this alchemy stuff, honestly. Like the nerfs and the changes, like a lot of them, some of them don't really feel relevant. And then some of them, like, what do you make of 1 extra toughness to Puppet Razor or something like that? It's hard for me to think that's game changing. Like, was Puppet Razor great? No. Was its problem that it was lacking 1 toughness? I don't know if that's like, I mean, any extra stats are going to make the card better. So it is definitely nerfed to some extent, but is 1 extra toughness going to take Puppet Razor from like C0 play whatsoever to being a top tier card that's played in all kinds of decks? I'm not sure that that's true. On the other hand, something like Triumphant Adventure gaining extra power for an aggro card, that's actually like a pretty big deal. Triumphant Adventure, a 2/1 Death Touch that also gets first strike, so you can't really block it. I think that actually becomes a much better card. Out of all the nerfs and buffs impacting the dungeon stuff, I think that's the one that might actually make an impact on the format. Opponent. Well, Valakut, go. Hey, what's up, Stagsy boy? How are you? I mean, it does survive Frostbite, although, I mean, how big of a deal is that in Alchemy? I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it is something. So I think it is. I mean, it's clearly a buff. The card is, oh boy, another control deck. Ouch. I still can't believe we lost that Belcher. That Belcher one after the Necroventia. The card adjustments, which I really... Wizards. You can just say nerf. You can say nerf. It's okay. Wizards, they buff cards, but then if they make a card worse, it's a adjustment. Why? Your thoughts on the new Teferi Time Raveler? I mean, the new Teferi feels much fairer to me. We'll see. Okay, opponent passes. We'll see how it shakes out. Honestly, Teferi is a card that I dislike so much. And countered. It's a card that I dislike so much, I don't honestly care about saving it. If you gotta do it, then I guess it's fine, but I don't really see the... I don't really see the I don't really see the point in trying to save something like Teferi though. Like, it's just such a dislike card. I don't know what's the upside. Yeah, I think Hasbro does own Nerf. Oh boy, more Archmage's Charm. I'm also I don't know. Can you not say can you actually not say the word Nerf without getting in some sort of trademark issue in a very different context? About it, Craig's Polluter Delta. All right, so counter. Opponent gets a Luris, leaves up a counter, and passes. Well, let's play Amulet. Opponent. Counter. Oh, good old rogues. Well, we will play Azusa. We will play Simic Growth Chamber, pick up Valakut, replay Valakut, play a Forest, pass the turn. Opponent. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that you can't say the word Nerf. Opponent. I'm sure they probably couldn't call a product Nerf or whatever, but opponent has a Luris, passes with all their mana up. Does this mean they're just gonna counter another one of our? Is this how this goes? They just counter literally everything we do. Gitrog monster. About it. Please stop. Please. Oh jeez. All right. Well, opponent. More counter spells. We'll play a land and I guess a land, and we'll pass the turn. Put us down to 3 cards. We're getting through them. We're getting through. We're getting through the infinite counters very, very slowly. Opponent runs out of Luris. Can we draw a Magic the Gathering threat card? No. What if we crack this Peat land? Does that change things? Draw a no. All right, I'll play that and play that and pass the turn. How's the Gitrog? I mean, Gitrog's sweet. Oh, we've played against some incredibly miserable matchups. Lures really should have been banned. I don't know why it isn't. About it. I mean, we've just played against a lot of like incredibly counter heavy decks like this one. And then they end with the Luris Loop to draw even more counters. I'm actually very close to conceding here. Opponent goes attacking. I mean, because our opponent just gets to draw 2 cards a turn. Their deck is enough counters that with drawing 2 cards a turn, we should just be locked out of playing Magic for the rest of the game. Play a land. Yeah, Luris is the one card that I will take a stand on that needs to be banned in Modern. It is hugely harming the format. Other than that, I'm okay with no changes, but I mean, I've been preaching the companions are a mistake that are ruining Magic since the month they were printed. And that is still true 2 or 3 years from when they were printed. Opponent. Can we actually concede? I feel like there's just no chance we're gonna do anything with the Luris lock setup. Opponent. Hey, what's up, WoW? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome. Luris is fine. Ooh, that's a hot take. So what would your defense of Luris be? I'm actually honestly curious. I'm curious what the other side would think. Like what is the defense of having Luris be legal? Because I actually can't think of one that is reasonable in any way. Well, I guess Abrupt Decay can kill things if we can find the room. Can we resolve a spell? I mean, the cavern might help. If we can get the cavern down, that could be helpful. Outland Liberator, no. I mean, maybe we got a Fatal Push. Maybe we just go down the Summoners packs. Summoners packs get got by all the counters anyway. Maybe something like that. So what would the defensive Lurrus be? How about you can have no... Is Lurrus the most played card in Modern? We can look at that. We're a click away. What are the actual numbers saying? It's close. If it's not, it is very close to the number 1 played creature. Lurrus, most played creature, 38% of decks. It is technically 3rd behind Lightning Bolt and Engineered Explosives as the most played card. Although, I will say, that's kind of shocking when you think about it. Lurrus is a card that has a major restriction. Like, there are a lot of mana values in Magic. Lurrus makes it so you can play, what, 10%? 15% of the mana values printed in Magic? It is true that in Modern, you want to be efficient anyway, but Lurrus, in its power, has basically eliminated cards like Liliana the Veil, many cards that cost more than 2 mana from the format. So Lightning Bolt, any deck that has red mana can just throw it in there. So it makes sense that he's playing a lot of decks. Engineered Explosives. Sure, you need colored mana to power it up, but you can throw it in literally any deck. And it's played to fight against Urza Saga mostly. So even on 0, it's pretty powerful right now. Lurrus actually has a pretty big requirement, and it's still coming in at that high of a percentage of the meta game, which is kind of insane. I mean, the thing that sold me is I don't think it's getting... Oh yeah, pre-Errata Lurrus was... I truly believe the best Magic card of all time. Like, I think pre-Errata Lurrus was better than Black Lotus. And I don't think I'm even like being hyperbolic. Like, I honestly believe that before the Errata, it was the most played card in the format. Yeah, we've had times pretty regularly where 8 or 9 of the most played creatures are new cards, companions or Modern Horizons cards. The old cards have mostly gotten pushed out for the most part, at least on the top tier of the meta. Which is definitely interesting. Like, if you look at the most played creatures, Ikoria, MH2, 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 Theros, MH2. So all of the top creatures in the format are cards that have been printed in, what, the last year and a half? Something like that? Like, either this standard or last standard in that time frame. Lotus into Lure is pretty busted. Oh, I think Lurrus is better than Oko. I really do. I think it's an interesting conversation to have now. Like, what is the... I mean, if Oko or Black Lotus started in your hand every game, ooh, then they'd be in the running. Like, if they actually started in your hand every game, then they would definitely be of similar power, I think. Let's thought seize. See how many counters our opponent has. Oh god, jeez. All right. Okay. Well. Ha. Well, that's quite a hand. I don't know if there's any way you can beat this hand. I mean, it's really a control deck. It's a control deck that plays like 2 rogues as their finishers. So rogues, I think it's called rogues because it describes how it closes out the game, but it isn't a tribal deck in the same sense of like Merfolk or elves or something. It's a tribal deck that has like maybe 6 to 8 creatures in it. Huh. I mean, all of their stuff kills all of our stuff. We're not going to resolve a spell. I mean, I guess we take Counterspell, play the land, play Dryad of the Ilson Grove. Opponent can Ether Gust or Murderous Cut. Opponent Ether Gust. We will put it on top, I guess. Play Amulet. Pass the turn. I mean, they're gonna draw fetch eventually. It might work for a second, but it's hard to count on our opponent never drawing a way to turn on a revolt. Well, okay. Dried of the Ilson Grove. Doesn't even really do anything here, but play it. Opponent. Why did they play this on tap? Do they draw another counter? They draw Archmage Charm? Maybe this deck just needs, like, all the Cavern of Souls. Without our games of win today, and we played so many just, like, super counter-heavy control decks, it might be that you just need to play a ton of Cavern of Souls right now. Opponent casts a Duress down. Okay, to draw a card. We'll pass the turn. Opponent. How is Pioneer? Pioneer doing any bannings now? Yeah, we got our BNR announcement. Lots of bannings. None of them for Modern, but all right. So opponent turns on the Fatal Push. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you can't bet on Fatal Push not ever doing anything. How is Pauper post banning? Did the bannings actually make big changes to Pauper? Opponent passes. We draw a bounce land. Well, I mean, I don't even really feel like there's a point to playing this Dread Presence at the moment. All right, Ramanab Excavator. Opponent. This is like a really good example. Oh my god, they drew another counter. So this is a really good example of why I dislike Lurrus so much. Is someone asked me on Twitter, like, well, is playing is spending your turn in a format like Modern that is pretty fast, is it really worth it to take off turn 3 to put Lurrus in your hand? And the answer is clearly no, a huge percentage of the time. What makes Lurrus so brutal is games like this, where we're trading resources, essentially, and we're trying to fight through our opponent's counters, and then on turn 5 or turn 6, once our opponent has 1-for-1 us a million times, then our opponent just gets to play, they get to get the Lurrus, and then they essentially just have a free Howling Mine for the rest of the game as long as Lurrus takes out. That's what makes Lurrus so strong and so hard to keep up with. So I think this is like a shining example of why Lurrus is so brutal. Bruna Horde, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. Gee, well, our opponent also has top decked many counters in a row, so yeah, and I mean, now we're just in the same position. Our opponent plays Lurrus. They get to draw an extra card every turn. Their deck is all counters. 40 turns from now, they will find a way to kill us, so we're just going to scoop. Gentleman, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I really wish they just banned Lurrus. I really do. Oh, you're not feeling well, Ryu? So as far as the rest of what else do we have on the Nerf? So Teferi, I don't know if Teferi's even going to be good. I mean, I think it'll see play. The fact that it's only preventing your opponent from casting spells on your turn does power it down quite a bit. Like, it's not incidentally going to stop cascade spells. It's not going to stop, all the... I mean, I guess some of that exists in Historic, but not a ton. But it hits on much less. Being an extra mana is a pretty big deal. Now you're only 1 mana away from Big Teferi. So I feel like it's much less good compared to where it was. Although it could still have a role. Like, the static ability now... It is still pretty good against control decks. Like, if you play this, your opponent's not going to be able to... You're not going to be able to resolve things. Your opponent's not going to be able to counter your stuff. You're going to be... I mean, we could use a Teferi with all the counterspell decks we've been running into. Like, if we had access to that, it would be super helpful because all of our stuff's getting countered. So I think it really changes the dynamic of how it plays. I don't think that this version of Teferi, like the original, was just... play it every single deck that could cast it, and even some decks that couldn't. Like, you'd splash into Teferi's colors just to have access to Teferi in your deck. I don't think the Nerf version is going to be like that. I think that the Nerf version has been powered down enough that seems pretty unlikely to me. Dying to Despark, I guess that is... Ooh, are we getting boom busted? Ugh, okay. Well, Ramanop Excavator is good against boom bust if we can get it down and have it live. All right. Land Destruction Part 1. Well, okay. We'll play this. Untap it. Add a black mana. Get down Heartless Summonings. You're gonna have to watch out for Nahiri. This might be the deck we played on Mucha Brew last week. Should I sell my Urza Sagas or keep them for commander value? Well, I mean, Urza Saga didn't get banned, so I guess there's no rush to sell it at this point. Opponent. Cleansing Wildfires themselves. I mean, we only have one Ramanop Excavator. Nahiri can exile our Heartless Summonings. We really... Oh, boy. Okay. Well, more Amulets. Valakut, I guess. Probably should have played Green Source. Would have been better to set up this Ramanop next turn. About it. Leonin Arbiter. Okay. Well, opponent is... I don't know what our opponent's doing, in all honesty. So... Triome. Untap it. A bounce land would be good. Bounce land into Primeval Titan, somehow paying for the Arbiter would be good. Opponent's down to 3 cards. I'm surprised they got Arbiter in their deck. I don't know what our opponent's doing. Yes, you can definitely tap mana between triggers. Opponent. Yeah, there's no sagas in this deck. Opponent has to pay for their own Arbiter. All right, just how I drew it up. Darkwing 30, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Opponent gets it. It says down to 18 passes. Ooh, Dryad. Well, play Dryad for 1 mana. Play Peatland. Play Excavator. Play Valakut. Untap it. Okay, now I think our opponent's in trouble. I do not think that... I don't know about this Arbiter in this deck. This Arbiter feels... Yeah, this is your Mucha Brew deck with Arbiter instead of the Seasoned Pyromancer. I feel like Arbiter is kind of bad in the deck, since so much of the deck is about blowing up your flagstones, but... Opponent. Goose Quarter. Well, we can pay for this one. Fury. Can only kill one thing, thankfully. And then Primeval Titan comes down. I assume they gotta kill the Dryad. But we'll see. Okay. Opponent. Wait. Oh, okay. Sure. Kills the Dryad. Yeah. Well, here comes Primeval Titan. 1, 2. So we need to be able to... Oh, Ephemerate. Okay, this is not anything like our deck. The problem is we need to pay for the Arbiter and Primeval Titan, or else Primeval Titan does much less. So that's kind of the sticking point. We need enough mana to do both, and we still don't have that unless we find a bounce land. Dryad. We do get wildcards for ban still. Huh. Yeah, if Dryad lived, it would help. What are we going to do? Guessing you already talked about bannings multiple times. Don't want to have you bring it up again here if you're planning on. But do you plan on uploading your thoughts to YouTube or something like that? Possibly, Crowley. Maybe. Is that something you'd be interested in? The challenge is the banning came right before the stream today. So the timing was a little awkward for just doing an immediate YouTube video. But I could probably do it at some point in the future. And then we got spoilers starting Thursday, so I might be able to do something tomorrow, maybe. But I mean, the TLDR is, I think that standard bannings are really good. The legacy bannings are finally fine. Is the stream going to happen on Thursday? I hope so. I'm not 100% clear on what the spoiler schedule is. I mean, I guess we just gotta... Huh. Do we have to run out Primeval Titan for no value and then get... Opponent's got one card in hand. Their Ephemera's coming back, so this is 4 damage to something. We can play Primeval Titan for no value. And Chump Block? That seems bad. We play Dryad for no value. It dies to Fury. That also doesn't seem great. I mean, I guess playing Primeval Titan and hoping that it survives, and then if it does, we can pay 2 to tutor out lands and maybe do something. I don't know if I like drawing with Peatland. Drawing with Peatland puts us even further away from actually playing Primeval Titan. We can pass, but if we pass, we take a lot. We take 8, and then we're really up against it, especially with 2 Peatlands next turn. Draw just to try to find a bounce land? I mean, we'd have to hit exactly a bounce land. If we whiff, are we dead? Like, we draw to try to find a bounce land. If we whiff, we just die, right? You can draw twice with Dryad. Yeah, but if we... So you're saying you think we just gotta go for it right now? And just hope that that there's a bounce land on the top of our deck? Ugh. I mean, a bounce land would be great. I think we just pass. I think we just gotta pass. Yeah, I think that's probably what we gotta do. Like, none of these options are good because of this Ephemerate, but I think this is our best one. Opponent. No Ephemerate. Goes to combat. Attacks. Oh no. Oh, maybe this deck's not good in our hands. Opponent. Oh god. Not a bounce land. Not a bounce land. You gotta be kidding me. This is like non-bo.deck and we're losing to it. Oh no. Oh no. Losing, I don't mind losing, but oh my goodness. I do not like losing to... I don't know if I like losing to that level of non-bo. That's just kind of embarrassing. Have you tried Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels? I haven't. How is the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game? Wow. Oh no. Well, maybe we're about to give up on this deck. Maybe this deck is just not going to get it done for us. It is kind of funny how many ways our opponent has to search their library in there. Normally, if you play Leon and Arbiter, the idea is to not have any ways to search your library because it's so non-boy, but the Cleansing Wildfire, your Flagstones deck is all about that. So kind of a interesting technique. A technique that I have not personally seen before. Well, I don't even know if we want to kill their Arbiter. I feel like their Arbiter is beneficial for us. Like, our opponent having Arbiter helps us. Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! The game where you just... that ends on turn 1 all the time? Turn 1 or turn 2? Like, isn't that the whole idea of it? Mintoff! 2001 first time sub. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Well, I mean... we'll see if we can actually get some stuff down. It could be good. Triome go. Opponent. Untaps. Is it actually fun? Flagstones. All right. Show us Ramanop Excavator to go with your Flagstones. Well, we will play Valakut. Can we actually get down the Azusa before we get wrecked? That is the question. Pass the turn about it. Legend rules themselves. Good news for our opponent is they do not have access to a Arbiter this time. Cool cat for the 6 month. Welcome to the... There it is. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, bad news for our opponent is this game, we get to play Azusa, and we get to get pretty far ahead in lands. Oh my god. Actually, I'm really tempted to do this. You know what? We're going to do this. Boom. Shouldn't have played that Arbiter. Shouldn't have played that Arbiter. Shouldn't have played that Arbiter. The whole reverse Reno. Hello from the U.S., Hunger Sky. Good to see you. Opponent. Ghost Quarter. Bring it. Bring it, friend. Gets in. We will not block. And opponent. Come on. Ghost Quarter us. You gotta get rid of that Valakut. You gotta get rid of that Valakut. We're gonna try to convince our opponent that they should probably take it out of their deck. Well, all right. So we will play a Ramanamp Excavator. Opponent's gonna be sideboarding out these. Arbiters for game 3, I think. Get in and hit ya. Opponent down to 19. Well, Pete land. Sack it to draw a card. Pete land. The only thing is they can pay right now. So I think we just gotta... Yeah, I think we just gotta pass and wait. Opponent untaps. If our opponent ever gets greedy... Opponent's gotta leave up 2 mana forever. They're the one that gets wrecked by their own cat Jesus. Oh, come on now. I'm on it. Luke the Fury. Gonna go after the Ramanamp Excavator. Okay. And a tap land. And opponent hits us. Well, opponent got out from under the Excavator. I wish there was a way to get the Excavator back. Maybe we just gotta try Value Town. Maybe we gotta just try a Value Town deck at some point. Well, Verdant Catacombs. 1, 2. Pay for Arbiter. Crack the Catacombs. Get a Forest. Play a big ol' Elder Gargaroth. Big enough to survive some Furies. Hit ya. About it. Yeah, Fury's pretty good. That's one that I kind of underestimated too. I thought Fury was the worst of the cycle when it came out, and I don't think it's the best of the cycle, but it is certainly proven to be in the top tier of the cycle. Sacred Foundry tapped. I still think we're in pretty good shape. Like, our opponent's a land destruction deck, and we have a ton of lands on the battlefield, and we got Elder Gargaroth. If our opponent would like to Armageddon now, we're down with that. Yeah, the blue one ended up not being that great. Opponent, wow, going to Ghost Quarter, sure. No fear from the opponent. Well, we will go to combat. We will attack with the Gargaroth. Hit ya. Draw a card. Oh, so many amulets. I don't know if I like the amulets in this deck. I almost feel like the Primeval Titan amulet aspect is making it worse rather than better. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it kind of feels that way. Like, it actually kind of feels a little clunky. Opponent untaps. Well, let's see if they can kill it. Oh, I didn't. All right, we can still go over the commander stuff. There's an Ahiri. I will give the warning again. No, I pulled him up, and then we went to the next game, and I didn't actually talk about him. Ooh, opponent tapped out, though. Okay, well, I mean, this is our window. Boom. Oh, double fizzle. Would you like to pay the 2 opponent? Apparently not. Aw. Oh, poor opponent. Yeah, I pulled him up, but we didn't talk about him. Wait till after this game. Let's finish this game, and then I will give the warning, and we'll talk about him. Are we cracking? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we draw Primeval Titan first. Heartless summoning. Well, go to combat. Attack Nahiri. Draw a card. Dryad, okay. Opponent. Let's Nahiri go. Oh, so many land drops. So little to do with them. Sack the peat land, draw a card. Another Azusa. I'll play Heartless Summonings. Play Dryad of the Illicit Grove. Pass the turn. Please die, opponent. Surprised your Lures wasn't banned. Maybe that means Modern isn't a great place. I mean, Modern isn't a pretty fun place. I think it could be improved, especially by Lures being banned. So here's the thing about Lures. I don't know if I said this earlier. I don't think I brought it up. So with Lures, the scariest thing about Lures is it keeps taking over more and more of the meta. There was no modern bannings. The ban list dropped. It was standard and legacy and then a bunch of historic alchemy stuff. But nothing for modern today. Opponent passes. There is Primeval Titan. All right, that's what we wanted to... Oh, no. Oh, no, we can't pay for the Arbiter. Okay, go to combat. Attack Nahiri, draw a card. So close. So this Arbiter, I guess it is doing something for our opponent. It is making our Primeval Titans annoying. Another one. Well, opponent. Blocks the Gargaroth. Okay. Sure. Nahiri to 2. Well, 1. Oh, now we're definitely Primeval Titaning. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have a Wrath of some kind. Primeval Titan. Grab what? So we can't win this turn, right? There's no way we... Okay, let's think about this. Is there any way we can win? We got 1,000,000 land drops. We got 1,000,000 amulets. Bounce land amulet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I guess that actually would work with Dryad, wouldn't it? Oh... I was trying to construct some like sweet line where we like get Gitrog and then we take it. We get Teleria West in Simic Growth Chamber. We can pick it up. We can transmute Teleria West to get a tutor to get Gitrog Monster and then Gitrog Monster to draw some cards and do sweet things and then Dread Presence. But I guess we can just win this way. I mean, I think this is the correct way to win. It feels dirty, but you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, bunch of amulets, sure. Untap. I want to win in such a cool way. All right, tap some mana because it's correct. Untap, tap some mana, pick it up. Hey, thank you for the cheer, Great Beard. Hey, I don't know about that name. Is your beard as great as mine? That's a real question. I'm sure it's better than Vince's. We know that, but pick it up. What is the deck list? Ooh, not mono Redbird. That is my kind of burn deck. Burn, yeah. Primeval Titan. I mean, this is definitely gonna do it. Bounce land and Opponent's sticking it out. Burn ya. Burn ya. Do a bunch of untapping. Yeah. Oh, can we win with Ebriel Grazer? I think we can. It's Grazer's time to shine. Finally. Untap it a million times. Tap it a million times. I don't think I can play Amulet Titan, honestly. So many clicks. So many clicks, so many taps and untaps. All right, bounce land, pick it up. Float mana, pick it up. Boom. Ebriel Grazer. Would you like to put a land into play? Yes. And oh, there we go. There we go. That is the Grazer game. Not mono red bird. That's my kind of bird deck. This looks really sweet, Great Beard. Hey, what's up, Josie? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Does Vince even have a beard? Not really. I mean, I don't know if it counts. There's a little bit of hair on his face, but Foresight on no bans in Modern. Oh, I haven't seen this yet. Yeah, it looks super fun. Tainted Remedies. Cool. Tainted Remedy is a little infamous around here. If you've been following Against Odds for a long time, you'll know that historically Tainted Remedy is one of the worst Against Odds cards we ever have played. I don't know how many of you here for the earliest years of Against Odds. So it was in Standard, and in the early years of the Against Odds poll, we had the same card stay on the poll each week. So the winning card would get made into a deck, and then like the 2 or 3 runner-ups would stay on, and then we get like 2 new options. Tainted Remedy managed to come in second place for like 2 months in a row, some absurdly long period of time. It would never get in first place. It would always get in second place. So it kept staying on the poll, but it would never get made into the deck. And then we had rotation in anything that synergized with Tainted Remedy rotated, but it was still on the poll because of the rules at the time for the poll. So then, of course, as soon as there's rotation, it actually wins the poll. And oh my goodness, our deck was, I tried to remember how we tried to do it, because the card is as if your opponent would gain life, they lose that much life instead. I believe that what we ended up with, the only way to try to make it work, was to play spells that could give creatures lifelink and target our opponent's creatures. Like wait for our opponent to attack us and then try to cast some instant that would give their biggest attacker lifelink, hope that it would hit us, and then our opponent would lose life with Tainted Remedy, and it did not work at all. Like it wasn't even close to work. So that's the Tainted Remedy story. What did Foresight say about banning? Dana sent him around Modern, all point to leaving it alone. There are definitely best cards, but nothing worth addressing. That's a good thing. I mean, okay. I have a hard time with whenever Watsy talks about data, just because they have all this like internal data apparently that no one else has access to. And as much as I love data and analytics, I also, because I love data and analytics, I know that it is really easy to make the data say what you want, especially if you're the only one that can see the data. Like if no one else can see the data you're working from, you can probably find some sort of data to support your position. When I see the data that we have access to, like, so here I think is the most compelling argument against Lurrus in specific. I would say the most compelling argument for banning Lurrus, outside of I don't like the companion mechanic, which that's not very compelling because that's a personal preference thing. Outside of the fact that I don't like how it constrains deck building with, pushing Lilianas and anything more than 2 mana out of the format. I would say by the data, the argument is a year ago, if you go back and look at the same page, Lurrus was played as a companion in like 16% of decks. A year later, it's up to 38% of decks. So this number is increasing. I would already say that 38% of decks playing Lurrus as a companion, I think that number is too high. But regardless, the trend is in the wrong direction. The trend is in the more and more Lurrus direction rather than the less and less Lurrus direction. And more than doubling percentage-wise in a single year, that's not just like it barely ticked up in play. That's a huge increase in play. So I don't know. The other cards, Saga, Ragavan, like I said, I go back and forth on them. If they ban them, I wouldn't be upset if they were banned, or like whatever, Prismatic Ending or Unholy. I wouldn't be upset if those cards were banned, but I also don't have super strong feelings like these cards need to be banned or the format's ruined or something like that. So I don't know, but the one in specific that I would argue the data shows, you know, supports a banning for would clearly be Lures, in my opinion. All right, so now what? Opponent's playing Land Destruction. We don't have a Ramanop Excavator. Bounce lands are really brutal. Oh dear. Well, so I guess our plan is going to be to try to find a way to get Dryad going. Oh, I'm very the Frog returns. I'm really scared of this matchup on the draw. Like, reasonable chance we do nothing if our opponent has a good hand here. About it. Oh boy. There's the boom. Sure. Well, okay, Land and Thoughtseize. That's something. Fury. Arbiter. Nahiri. Ghost Quarter. Well, we got to take Arbiter. If we get Ghost Quarter, hit by Ghost Quarter, we lose. So take Arbiter and hope for the best. About it. Adapts. Flagstone. So that was our draw for the turn. Well, go Gary Rot Farm. Ooh, come on, lands. And not Land Destruction. If this bounce land gets blown up, we're so in trouble. About it. Land and... Okay, Nahiri, that doesn't blow up our land. This is why I mostly refuse to play bounce lands in Commander, because I think that getting them blown up is so bad. So opponent loots away an Arbiter. Wait, they didn't loot away anything? Wow, they chose not to discard? Interesting. Well, Swamp, Dryad of the Ilson Grove, Urborg. Tough position. If this bounce land goes away, our life goes away with it. Opponent untaps. And I mean, I used to, like 5 years ago, I would play them a lot. But then I also played Strip Mine a lot. And I firmly believe that if you get a chance to Strip Mine a bounce land, you just gotta do it. The value's too good to pass up. So that made me stop playing them mostly in Commander. Oh yeah, we're dead. Because now Nahiri just comes down and gets an Emrakul and we lose. Unless our opponent took out the Emrakuls. You never know. Maybe they don't have Emrakul and they're going to tutor out a Leonin Arbiter. I mean, I guess we got to wait and hope. Dryad of the Ilson Grove. Come on, Leonin Arbiter. I mean, opponent had to get something to find room for these Arbiters that mostly make them lose. Okay, they do have Emrakul. Sure. Oh, well, I gotta say Gitrog was, wow, that was a bust. I actually feel like this build is, I don't really like it. So I think if I was gonna build this deck, I think I would get rid of all the Primeval Titan shenanigans. Like, I think Primeval Titan is fine, but personally, I think I enjoy the most and have had the most success with Gitrog decks that are not playing all these amulets, not playing all these Primeval Titans, not playing 29 lands. Like, this deck, it feels like you're taking and kind of trying to shoehorn Gitrog cool stuff into an Amulet Titan deck. And we've run into this before. It reminds me of the Asmore Surprise deck, where it's kind of like two different archetypes put together, and it felt like having them both together made both archetypes worse rather than better. I think that this might be a similar case. So I would be interested in revisiting Gitrog, but I would like to go more like Ramanop Excavators, maybe even more Grazers for the ramp plan if we're cutting some of the early game stuff, and really focus on the Gitrog Land Destruction Value Town style plan. So I'm super hyped about the Standard Ban. Standard Ban's super, super good. So, Commander, people have been asking about these Commander cards. So, warning again, I'm actually going to pull up the Commander cards that showed up on the Reddit today. It's a couple of the legends from the Commander precons. If you were someone who was trying to avoid all leaks, avert your eyes momentarily. Avert your eyes. Hey, what's up, Jake DeClaire? Good to see you. Avert your eyes momentarily. We're going to take a quick look at these Commander cards, and then we'll be back. Mint $2 donation. Hey Seth, is there a potential argument that aggro decks gas out and lose very easily without Lurrus, and cards like Bobble have had a trend of unfair play pattern for years, but love the content? My little brother and I tune in weekly. Well, thank you so much, Mint, and say hello to your little brother. Is there an argument that aggro decks gas out and lose very easily without Lurrus, and that cards like Bobble have had a trend of unfair play pattern for years? So, I mean, free spells are broken, so I wouldn't argue against Mishra's Bobble having an unfair play pattern. Sure, like, I guess you could argue that Lurrus could help support, like, an aggro deck, but I don't feel like that's primarily what Lurrus does. Like, it could do that, but, I mean, we were just playing against the Lurrus Rogue control deck, where it's just like, counter all your stuff, and then play Lurrus so I can draw an extra counter every turn and counter all your stuff. So it's not like Lurrus is an aggro card. Lurrus is an everywhere card. Like, Jund is a Lurrus deck. There are aggro Lurrus decks, like Hammer Time, I guess, would be an aggro Lurrus deck, and then there's full-on control Lurrus decks. So I think that just, like, having a free card, or not as free as it used to be, you'd have to pay mana now, but having that extra card that is essentially just to source a card advantage with Mishra's Bobble or with Dress Down or whatever, I feel like that's just kind of good across archetypes at this point. Bobble is a card that I think without Lurrus would be okay. I think it would be okay without Lurrus. It is free though, which in general, I'm just skeptical of free spells. Like, I could see an argument for banning. I could see an argument for banning it, similar to I can see an argument for banning Manamorphose. Like, Manamorphose is a card that it looks like it does nothing, but it actually just powers up so many really fast degenerate things. So I can see an argument that just like, hey, it's free, it's triggering prowess, and then you have Lurrus, where it's free and it's, you know, just comboing with the strongest card in the format, essentially. So, okay, so these Commander cards, again, avert your eyes for a minute if you're trying to avoid every single leak. We're going to look at them real quick. MKSM, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. The beer emote's coming. It's coming. I think by next time you sub, a month from now, you should have a berry mode to use. It is definitely in the works. That's a done deal. All right, so here are the cards that we saw from the Commander precons. So we got basically, I think, the themes. I believe these two are the face ones. So it seems like one of them is kind of a Aura Equipment Samurai deck. I don't even know. A modified creature deck, I guess, might be the right way to put it. And then we have a vehicle commander, Moonfolk Pilot. So Shishiro the Shattered Blade, 4 mana 4/4. Whenever an aura equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you make a 2/2 red spirit creature token with menace, and at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each modified creature you control. Modified is equipment, auras, or counters. So if you have an equipment on a creature, or an aura on a creature, or a counter on a creature, it counts as modified. So if you're playing a bunch of auras and equipment, it seems fine. Kind of a cool idea of like a Gruul aggro go wide style commander. Katori Pilot Prodigy. Also Aphrodisiac for the 9th month. Thank you for the kind words, and welcome back to the Fishbowl. Big super cheer for you. So it's kind of a cool card. Kasori Pendant Warlord. I think this one's really sweet. So 3 mana 2/4. Moonfolk Pilot. Vehicles you control have crew 2 at the beginning of combat in your turn. Target artifact creature you control gains vigilance and lifelink until end of turn. That makes me want to build a vehicle deck in Commander. Like, vehicle if you look up vehicles, what is the one? Consulate Dreadnought. Like, there's some that are really powerful but have really high crew costs. The first thing that came to mind is like Consulate Dreadnought with crew 2. That's actually kind of interesting. Like, that's an exciting card. And there's a few other ones. The rare one, Conqueror's Galleon. Like, flipping this in Commander is actually really strong. The land side is so much going on, but 4 to crew is kind of a lot. So I'm actually kind of hyped of having this commander that's essentially like a Peace Walker Colossus commander. Like, Peace Walker Colossus lets you crew your vehicles on the cheap. I feel like this is going to do something similar. So that one, Parhelion, to be another one that's, I mean, obviously 8 mana to get on the battlefield, but once you get it on the battlefield, crew 4 is still pretty high. So I think it's a really interesting, maybe the most interesting vehicle commander we've seen. Also a hint at what's coming in Kamigawa. The Colossal Plow, of course, would be another one that I kind of glossed over, but you're right, Colossal Plow. So I imagine that's how you build this. And one of the things I love most in Commander is commanders that make cards that you won't play in any other deck playable. And I think that is exactly what Kitori does. Like, that's making Consulate Dreadnought, a card you would play in 0% of decks otherwise. It's making it into a playable card in this one specific archetype. Or Colossal Plow, you can't really play it anywhere, but in a Kitori deck, it's going to be one of your best cards. So really cool vehicle commander. Also, Return of Moonfolk for Tomer. What makes it blue? Maybe, I mean, Moonfolk? Does Moonfolk do it? Is that enough to make it a blue card? I agree if you read the abilities. Vehicles have crew 2, feels white. Lifelink and Vigilance both feel pretty white. Outside of it being a Moonfolk, I really don't know how to argue that it is a blue card. Maybe it'll make sense with Kamigawa. Like, maybe pilots are like blue-white in Kamigawa or something once we see the rest of it. Reducing the cost. Okay, I could see that being blue, like a training ground style thing. And then the backup legends we saw, Kami the Fractured Calm, 4 mana, 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, goad each creature your opponents control that's enchanted by an aura you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on Kami of the Fractured Calm for each goaded creature this way. So the weird thing about this is the colors. Honestly, I don't know if this feels white, but this would be a card that would be much more powerful in white. Like, in white, you get all the pacifisms and all those style auras. My question for this card is, I mean, I guess I'm going to have to do a search for it. I haven't really researched it at all. Like, what auras do you have that you want to be putting on your opponent's creatures in the Gruul colors? It's cool. Yeah, I guess you can play Gruul curses, but you're missing the good white curses, the good black curses. So that's kind of the question is, like, are there enough enchantments that, and actually, wait, each creature your opponents control that is enchanted by an aura you control. So I don't think curses work. It only works with your opponent's creatures. I mean, we can look real quick. I'm actually curious, like, what auras that are green and red or red would you actively want to put on your opponent's creatures? I mean, there's got to be something. I forgot about Burrowing. I mean, you know what? Man, that art cracks me up every time. His hands are so big. It reminds me of Charlie's uncle in Always Sunny. He's always got the hand issues, and he wears like the oversized hands because he has this thing about small hands. Immolation. Where's Immolation? Earthbind. Enters the battlefield, deals... Wait, if the enchanted creature has flying, deals 2 damage to the creature. Something like Earthbind is actually a negative effect. I'm just wondering, like, it needs to be like negative effects. You don't want to be putting things that benefit your opponent's creature, benefits your opponent on their creatures. Flowstone Blade, maybe, because you would control the enchantment, so you'd be able to put this on it and then eventually use it as removal. Okay, so there's some. I think there's some red ones that, like, aren't there some red ones that also deal damage when they enter the battlefield? Like weird lightning bolt. Galvanic Arc. When it enters the battlefield, 3 damage to any target enchanted creature has first strike. So something along those lines. Lure could be a cool one. So, okay, there's some that'll actually work. I mean, that's also kind of interesting, though, because you still... you still have to play a lot of weird cards that you wouldn't normally play. So I think that's going to be a challenging legend to build around, but it is a really cool design. Kind of makes me sad that Gruul got auras and equipments when they just released Galea in D&D. I'd like Wizards to pick a color scheme and make a good deck and give me a 4-color aura equipment commander. Yeah, that's true. It does seem like we've had a lot of different colors of auras and equipment. In the last one we got here, Siroki Genesis Engine, 4 mana, 8/8. 4 mana, 8/8. Pay. Oh, it's a legendary vehicle. Interesting. Oh, so you can't actually. Wait. Oh, it can be. Oh, it's a vehicle that can be your. Okay, I'm just reading this card. I didn't read this card closely. This is. I saw the 2 face commanders. These must have been ones that I didn't actually see earlier. Okay. Sorakati Genesis Engine, 4 mana, 8/8 legendary vehicle. Pay 1, tap it, draw 2 cards and discard a card. Create a 1/1 pilot creature token. With this creature can crew vehicles as though its power were 2 greater. So it's a 1/1, but it's 3 for crewing, and it has crew 8. So you can tap 8 power of stuff to turn it into an 8/8, and it can be your commander. That's just a really cool card. Like, that card's cool. I don't know if that card's actually good. It might not actually be good, but I actually think that's a neat design. That's the first ever vehicle that can be your commander. Obviously, it works well in the 99 of something like Kitori. You got this really high crew cost, but pretty big vehicle, and this is going to help you crew it. I like the making tokens that crew bigger than their power. That's a really cool commander. That's one, I think, out of these 4 commanders, I'm definitely most excited to build around the Azorius ones. I think this might actually be the most exciting one, the Sorakati Genesis Engine. That's a really unique design. And then Kitori is actually cool too. The Gruul ones are not bad, but they don't speak to me in the same way as those ones. Wait, we got partners? Wait, where are their partners? How much of the set is leaked? I don't actually see partners. I don't know. We'll save those for the future. I mean, we're a couple days away from spoiler season, so we're gonna be getting real spoilers soon. Hey, what's up, awesome dude? Good to see you in Conflicts of Wine. Just months. The months just keep going. I know, 64 months. I think you're near the top of longest subs, awesome dude. Actually, you are at the top. Longest sub. That is absolutely absurd. Thank you so much, House Bear. He's doing really well. He's over doing some puppy playtime at the moment. Yesterday he got to he went to play with his brother from his same litter, and this other puppy came over that was really little, like 8 weeks, 10 weeks old, and so much fun playing. It was pretty funny. The 10-week-old puppy, she was really tough. She would just fight with the big ones. She would fight them and like chase them around and kind of like dominate the play session. And then if they ever got too rough, she was really little, so she'd like run, hide under something that the bigger ones couldn't get to, and then she'd dodge out and make them chase her around and do it again. So it was pretty fun. So Bear's doing that today. Oh, all right. Final thoughts on the bannings. Let's look at this one more time. Because everyone's been asking about this. So, bannings. We talked about at the beginning. I'm sure different people are here now. The BNR list itself, I would give it a solid A. I would say B plus A, somewhere in that range. I love the standard bannings. I, for the first time in a while, am thrilled to actually play standard. I was dreading, I love spoiler season. One of my favorite things is doing spoiler videos, being able to talk about new Magic cards. There is not much in the entire world that I love more than talking about new Magic cards. And with spoilers coming up starting Thursday, I was actually like kind of dreading doing spoiler videos and being like, hey, here's this cool ninja. I love it. It's really fun, but Alrund's Epiphany is busted, but Mono Green's too good, but Divide by Zero is going to bounce it. And now these bannings, it has completely fixed that problem. Now I can just be hyped about the possibilities of Kamigawa. I can be hyped with a fresh format because this hits, as we mentioned earlier, really all the best decks in Standard. If you look at Alrund's Epiphany, Divide by Zero, Faceless Haven, Mono Green hit. Is it dragons? Hit. Is it control? Hit. Mono white aggro? Hit. Other fringe stuff using divide by zero also hit. So this is knocking the legs out from under a huge percentage of the best decks in the meta. Great choices. I could not ask for more in standard. Legacy, whatever. I think it's probably fine. I think Ragavan being banned is probably a good thing. We'll see how it all shakes out. Historic giving us our wild cards finally. Should have done that earlier. If anything, I'm just disappointed we didn't get the refund faster. Modern, that's the only thing that keeps it from being a full-on like A+ or a solid A. The only thing that holds it back is I really was hoping Loris was going to go. And I would have been fine with more things going. Like, Loris was the thing I really wanted to see banned. And I would have been fine with Saga being banned. I would have been fine with Ragavan being banned. I would have been fine with Deathrite Shaman, Glimpse of Nature, Birthing Pod, a whole bunch of things being unbanned, at least on a test basis, to see how it goes. So I was kind of hoping that we'd have some changes in Modern. Starting with Loris being banned, maybe some unbannings. I'm fine with it. Like, I don't know. Modern is still really fun. We got a little crush today, but Modern is still an enjoyable format. Like today, we didn't play against a Ragavan at all, right? We played maybe one Ragavan deck. We played against a very diverse set of matchups, all different archetypes. So I can't complain too much about that. As far as the alchemy stuff, I don't even know. I don't know what to think at this point. Like, my guess is a lot of it doesn't really matter. Either it's powering up stuff that is so low powered, I don't know if it's going to make a difference, or it's small tweaks to things that I just don't know if the tweak is enough to change it. Like Puppet Razor. Is 1 extra toughness going to take it from, tier 3 to tier 1? I doubt it. The ones that are relevant is powering down Divide by Zero, really good. Fearsome Whelp, that really had to go. Hullbreaker is just making it can't be countered. Is that enough? I don't know, but that's fine. Inquisitor Captain, like all the stuff we've been talking about, well, most of the stuff that we had been talking about needing to be fixed, got fixed. The one card I was kind of thinking might need to be fixed that wasn't, is the Seek 3 card draw spell. I still think that's like on the top end of the power. That one dodge, and also Key to the Archive. That was another one that I was thinking maybe they change up the spell book, do something, because that's another one of the most powerful cards in Alchemy. That one also dodged any changes this time around, but in general, I think these changes are fine. It's just a lot to take in. Like, with Alchemy, so much changes so fast. Hey, I love you too, Fed 52 decks. Thank you so much. So much changes so fast, it's hard to really make sense of all of it, but I would say overall, really good BNR. I'm happy with it. Would have liked to see a little change in Modern. Still kind of soaking in all these Alchemy changes, trying to figure out what it's going to mean. But it does seem like they hit a lot of the most egregious Alchemy cards that have been causing problems. So I think that's going to be a positive. So overall, I think pretty Purge also dodge. Although is Purge an issue? I don't know. Purge is not a card that has felt super problematic to me. I've heard other people mention it though. Also, they didn't fix for Hilda, which is weird. I don't think they capitalized Foe-Razor region or whatever the dragon's called. So they didn't fix any of the typo-y type stuff either, which is a little bit strange. I was expecting that would be like the baseline, but that's cosmetic stuff. It's not the end of the world, but well, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. So that's the bannings. I'll see if I can maybe do a video about them in the future, but we've talked about it quite a bit here. Thursday's stream, I think we're going to have a stream. My understanding now is I was thinking that spoilers were going to kick off with the Wizard stream that was happening literally during our stream. But now I'm thinking that the way it's listed on their website, the spoilers are actually going to start in the morning with the articles that they post at like 10:30 or 11 a.m. So I think that I should be able to do spoilers during the day and then do a stream at night. But we'll see. That is, I guess, maybe play it by ear. Something could change. But I'm hoping to just have a normal stream and we can talk about spoilers and all that stuff on Thursday and maybe play some new historic, new alchemy, new standard maybe with the bannings being implemented. So on that note, everyone, reminders, replay YouTube. That's where you can find the old series, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube, spoilers coming up soon. Really fun against the odds deck tomorrow. Shorts, all that good stuff. Maybe a banning video if I can get to it. So check that out on the YouTube. One more reminder that our sponsor tonight is Card Kingdom, and if you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free MTG Goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order note so they get a Card Kingdom for supporting the show. Most importantly, Jake the Cleric, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Most importantly, thank you to each and every one of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome. I love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out, being spectacular. So have a wonderful Tuesday night, everyone. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I will see you on Thursday in one form or another. If the stream does get canceled for spoilers, I'll definitely let you know ahead of time. So thanks so much, everyone. You're amazing. You're awesome. I love y'all. Have a great day. Have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you soon.